I suppose we are live. Oh, my hair is kind of gnarly. Didn't even look at the camera until now. Already started looking at it too intensely. Oh well. 'Tis what it is. Is the chat gonna open up here? It's been like reloading for a while. Let me try reopening chat. View, docs, chat. Please load. Hey, load now. Very nice. Alright, let me get some cheese sticks real quick. Get some food, little snacks. And I think I'm gonna play some. I want to play some Mighty. I've been wanting to play a little bit of Mighty Gunvolt Burst on stream, just to flex how good I am. Peak the audio a little bit, just to flex how good I am at it. Even though, honestly, who knows? I'll probably choke when I play on stream. Not at here at speedrunning it, but I feel kind of consistent at it. I feel pretty consistent at it. Oh no. I changed the category to be Mighty Gunvolt Burst. But the controller isn't being recognized. Oh, this is gonna be unfortunate because I kind of just know how to play with controller. Well, that's not great. Maybe today's not a Gunvolt Burst day. And it doesn't want to load now. Okay, it does. Yes. Exit current game. Please. Exit current game. Let's see if it works now. Let's see if she works now. I need to like put this, because I don't want to have both earbuds in. I just want to have one. But keeps tugging and pulling on the other one. Sorry, I'm a little bit snackish today. Let's see if this works. Controller, please work. I'm starting to like the theme of playing something before we get into doing something productive, or at least somewhat productive. Yay! Controller seems to be working now. Beautiful. So I think I'm gonna start a new one. Yeah. And keep it basic. Of course, there's a story there, but we don't believe in stories. Stories are just incidental. Now, something that does bother me about this game is I can't turn music off. Like, it's just a master volume. That's all that exists there. That's all that exists. I can't. That's crazy. There's like a game made by a team of people and they can't do SFX versus like SFX channel versus music channel. It's just all one. That's kind of gnarly. All right, whatever. It's gonna be weird playing this because I'm used to playing with a specific restriction in this game. And I'm not used to this controller either, but we're gonna see. Yeah, the restriction I play with is that you can't shoot and move. Like right now I can run and shoot at the same time. But with the restrictions I usually use, it prevents that. So it's either gonna be very easy or very strange. Also, let's get rid of this stuff. We're not trying to ace it the first time. Sweet. But yeah, this game is actually kind of very oddly kind of important, or at least influential to me. I mean, honestly, kind of the whole process of making an engine started with me playing this game and thinking, man, it'll be really cool to make something like this, like from scratch. My own tooling, my own everything. And like, how much would it take to make or recreate this kind of game? Of course, I have to complicate things by changing the mechanics to something that I haven't experimented that much with, but that's alright. It's so weird, man. His attacks do so much damage now. I'm not used to that. And being able to move at the same time? It's crazy. Ah, I'm dumb. And this game's kind of very odd timing for me. Because I remember playing this when I went to Puerto Rico last time. That was like my big thing I hyper focused on. Especially because like planes give me a lot of anxiety. So this is like one of the games I was going crazy on. Dude. Oh yeah. It's so simple. It's crazy. Oh, there's a thing up there. I missed something. I missed a secret. Oh well. Alright. Mr. Guy. Alright, big boss. Always kind of a weenie. Though this one's kind of... There's usually this tradition of like the first intro boss for Mega Man games being super duper Weenie Hut Juniors, but this guy's actually kind of substantial. Well, not that crazy substantial, but still more than I would have initially expected. Easy breezy. And of course, I'm a bit snackish, so we're gonna grab something. A little bite. I might up the audio too. It seems a bit quiet. No! Who's that guy? Maybe he's one of those GMs. Yeah. I'm not gonna pretend to be too interested in that. I've beaten this game like multiple times, and I still don't quite fully under. Like, I know it's the whole setup is that it's a VR world simulation thing, but I've just not committed what's going on in the story to heart. Alright, let's do something. I have a tradition, not tradition. I used to start with the airport guy, but as of late, I've kind of digged the magma guy. We're gonna go with the airport guy. Also, before I even do anything, I need to boost up the audio a little bit more. Just boost up the audio a little bit more. Just gonna boost this John up a little bit. Alright. Let's see what we got, what we're working with here. Settings. I think that's a good balance. Fair enough to me. Okay. Let's do radio tower. I should even out my ears because I usually use this left ear for streams. Let's do the right ear to kind of balance things out a little bit. Oh my goodness. I'm so used to playing on the Steam Deck too. So playing on a lightweight controller where I can like have a bunch of leverage and be able to spam without feeling like my fingers are dying. It's crazy. Haven't felt that in a while. Oh my goodness. That always stresses me out. Boop, boop. Get him. Doot, 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 doot. There we go. He's so overpowered right now. With the defaults. So strong. I'm not used to feeling this much power. Ah. Okay. Banana, 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 yes. Okay. Can I drop down? Yes, I can. Alright. Easy ascent now. Let's grab the rest of these guys. I don't know what they actually... I think... Do they actually increase my chip points? I don't know. Oh, I got hit? That sucks. Oh, no. There we go. Do it again. There we go. That usually doesn't get me. Come on, do it. And you're gonna come here. Yeah. Man, it feels so different on an actual proper controller. Meow. No, no, I didn't react. Did the U pattern. Dude, it's crazy how overpowered being able to move is. Being able to move and shoot is crazy. Oh, I died? How did that happen? I wasn't even paying attention. I was just assuming everything was going great. I wasn't even looking at my health. I was like, yeah, everything's fine. I shouldn't be scared. Completely neglected it, man. Oh, that sucks. You see, that's how we get to half health. Being irresponsible. I'm drunk with power right now. I'm starting to fall into hubris. Okay. Yep, there we go. Sweet. Very nice. Dun, 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 dun. Yep, one death. Very tragic. Yeah, why not? I don't care. Was the other one S? Was the starting zone S? I don't recall. A B, wow. What do we want to do next? Military guy's fun. Yeah, we'll do magma, why not? Honestly, I just kind of go back to my other file and try perfecting it. Oh my god, that was close. That was super close. Okay. You. And then you. And you. Perfect. I kind of want to go to my other save file and give that a try. Cause it's kind of strange how easy this feels now. Yep. Wait. Oh. Yep. Okay, this section I don't like particularly. Kind of stresses me out, I'm not gonna lie. Come on. No, this is slightly stressful, but it's not that bad. The one I feel like I always die is this jump over here. From the low platform to the high platform. I usually clip that little fire. I don't need that heart. Or do I? Low poly Mario enjoyer, are you winning? I'm trying to win. Well, actually, right now this is pretty nice, man. It's pretty breezy. Yeah, usually I'm playing on a file where there's a lot more restrictions on the player, but today I thought we were gonna be spicy, be a little bit hot, make a new file and just start playing vanilla. And I'm surprised how not crazy the game normally is. You're not crazy. Are you winning this evening, though? Are you winning? No! Please! No! 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 Mr. President, no! Okay, we're gonna go back up there. No! Get in there, yes. Alright. Yeah, dude. I think I might switch to the other file. This game is weirdly like a little side project that I'm always kind of chipping away at. It's never perfect. Even when I like 100% a file, it's like, alright, now we have to go to the next character and start clearing them out. No. Now this is a stupid section, man. I don't know. I don't know if I should probably look at speedruns at some point and see how people handle this, because it feels like I can't avoid getting hit at this at all. It feels impossible. No. There we go. Very nice. Very nice. Because if he got into that power up pose or that He-Man pose, he would have done that move. I would have missed the fire shot, got hit, died, and we have to go through this whole rigmarole. I missed one. I missed the fruit. Very sad. But yeah, it feels very weird playing this normal version, or going back to clean save. Alright. We did this guy, and then we did this guy, and then now we gotta do, I don't know. It's really up in the air after this. I'm fine with anybody else. There's military guy's fun. I don't like bulldozer dude. Water, this cheese I hate. This one I hated for a long time, and then eventually grew to love. Not good love. Perplexes me still. We'll do military dude. That sounds weird out of context. All right, let's get into it. Yeah, I kind of want to go back to the... I keep saying I want to do the other save, but at the same time, I feel like we already started. Why go back now? Getting progress on this is going to be way faster than any additional progress on the main man. Alright, one sec. Also, I love this. I wish more side-scrolling games have this, where you can you can walk up like a normal jabroni, but you can just tap jump and just spur your way up there, man. I don't know, the version, that side of me that just likes going, absolutely loves doing that. Like, even if they made normal ladder climbing faster, I still would prefer to do that. There we go. I should probably have the hand cam like actually looking at my hands now, shouldn't it? I just realized I'm playing because this is usually for coding. All right, there we go. Now you can see this masculine, ultra thick thighs. Peak performance. Okay. Okay. I died. I did. Always love the segues, and this isn't bad because, like, okay, here's the main. I'm not sure, you're probably familiar with this game already, so I'm just gonna explain it for the invisible audience, the invisible person who doesn't know about it. But this game has a whole mechanic where you can add both buffs and nerfs to your character to change your score and enhance your score, which is super cool. And what blew me away is like the wide variety of handicaps you could put on yourself. And one of them is like, hey, you can't shoot while running, so you have to stop, pop, jump, and keep doing like that. The other one is having like extra knockback when you get hit, and that's also another handicap I play with. And that section is terrible because if you get hit and you're stuck in hit stun for a couple seconds, that's a couple seconds that can kill you on that moving treadmill. Please, please, please. Oh, what am I doing? Oh, I missed that power up. Oh my goodness, I missed it. See that? It's not ours anymore. It's gone. It's not ours. Go, 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 go. But yeah. So it feels very liberating. It feels like Rock Lee taking off the ankle weights at the Chunin exam. Oh my goodness. So many secrets being forgotten about. It's okay. This is a casual little playthrough. I'm not sure I want to call it a playthrough since playthrough implies we're going to go through the whole thing. Oh my goodness. I'm not sure we're going to do that. Maybe. Wouldn't be outside of the cards. There is a little achievement you can have for beating the game in under an hour. I haven't been doing a great job of trying to prioritize speed here, but hey, who knows, man? Who knows, man? Alright, half health. What can go wrong? This pattern isn't that crazy, though. It's not that bad. Especially with mobility on our side. He's almost at half health already. I get way too comfortable getting up close and personal, man. Way too comfortable. Okay, you come over here, hit, the aim is locked in there. We go back here, aim is locked in there. And then he's gonna go to one of these sides and... Yeah, I made a little mistake there. That's okay. We learn from our mistakes. Okay. Come on. He's gonna jump down. I should have attacked him there, but okay, we're just gonna choke that. Alright, shoot the bombs, missiles. Ah! And then confirm. Confirm. Alright, choose a side and then kill a dude that spawns. There we go. Okay. Clean boss hit. Boss fight took one hit, I think. Very nice. Maybe I should start looking at speedruns and actually trying to speedrun this. I played it enough where I think I can... Oh, just A. Yeah, I missed out on stuff, didn't I? And I died, too. That's also a thing. I'm not sure what's constituting that much. Okay. Let me try out the other file real quick. I want to try... We're at 85. We just have to beat a couple levels, I think, to... Yeah, I think I just have to beat a couple levels again just to get the full rare items. Because Excuse me. So let's just do that. Let's just go through it. We're gonna go through the military base again, but now it's gonna be with this very fun. What is this fly doing here? And as you can see, I'm holding right or left, but it's stopping me. Very different way of playing. Okay, we go up, hit that again. Honestly, the way I play this versus how I played it before isn't that crazy. The only main difference is, the only real difference is, is in the boss fight, I think. And this section. This is way more scary. Okay. Okay, he's in. Okay. That scared me, but we made it through. Oh, no. See, that's what I'm talking about. The stun. The stun goes crazy. There we go. There we go. Yeah, I don't know how to get that. I think I have to use a different power up to. I forgot how I got to that before. Oh my goodness. Lightning kind of scared me. Come on. We can make it. Okay. Doesn't matter. We already got it in this one. Okay. Sweet. Most of the stuff. Now it's just a matter of getting this. And we continue. Bond. Okay. But yeah, like I said, it's what hit me. What hurt me? That happened the first time too. I don't know what happened. I should really do something better here. I know there's a way of doing this better. I forgot what I used to do. Okay. This guy's not that bad. Oh my goodness, how did I get clipped by that? Come on. Come on. Come on, we can do it. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. It's basically be the same kind of fight as we had last time. I just have to be more particular about my placement. Because I have to be very close to him. Okay. Confirm reselection. Didn't get out of the way fast enough. Okay, and very nice. Oh, I forgot. You can't be too close to the side. I'm relearning dumb lessons, man. It's okay. First death of no, second death. It's okay. It is okay. We're not striving for perfection. We already got the S rank. We're just trying to beat the level again so we can get all the goodies. Okay. Meow, 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 meow. Yeah, I like this boss. Out of all of them, he's probably among my favorites. He's gonna jump down here. Why did I do nothing? That was like my time to fight him. Okay, shoot me. Do it. Do it! No! Okay. Hit confirm. Jump. Hit confirm. And then into one of the sides. I bet left. No, I was wrong. Oh my goodness. Do, do, do. Over there. Very nice. Cool. Maybe not the most perfect of run-throughs, but hey, it's something. Let's see if we got anything from this. I know there's some secrets. I need to play through this with power-ups. Alright, yeah, minus 600. Take it off my pay. It's okay. And we got the sticker. Yes. There's 2 secrets, though. We're missing 2 secrets, so not completed. Let me at least get the secrets from the other, or the stickers from the other bosses. We'll just do that. We'll do that. Gosh, at first it felt weird using this controller because I'm used to playing on the Steam Deck, but honestly, I kind of prefer it. It's kind of nice. Oh, you know what? I need to use the other. I have to actually use a real power-up. Because there's gonna be a bunch of secrets I think that are hidden just in these boulders. Okay. Hop in there. Very nice. And then we fall down, grab that heart, because why not? See, like, the ladder thing is so fun. I love doing that ladder thing. I was playing Mega Man 1 not 1, I was playing Mega Man 2, and it kind of bothers me that I can't just do that. Uh-huh. This is where I want to go? Yeah, it's where I want to go. Because I think there's a secret. Oh. Yep, there. But yeah, like for the engine project I'm working on, this game is very influential on me, oddly enough. I never expected it because I picked up this game just because I wanted something. I got it when I first got the Switch. Oh. And I didn't have anything on it, and this looked cheap, or it was cheap, so I was like, ah, screw it. I don't know what to expect though, because Mighty Number 9 had a bad reputation. Everyone was kind of bummed out by it. But I was like, we'll give it a try. I did the demo and it was pretty fun. And then that started this multi-year, just kind of a low-key obsession. I started playing it more hardcore when I went to Puerto Rico because I'm always nervous on airplanes, or I started becoming nervous on airplanes. Didn't used to be the case, but out of nowhere I just started getting that anxiety. So I started hyper focusing on this, and then, brother. And then that started into, oh, you know what? It wouldn't be that crazy to, I wonder, like if I had to if I started learning how to write an engine or started learning like OpenGL, this would be something, okay, what am I doing? I'm doing something wrong. I know I'm doing something wrong. There we go. What? Oh, that's from those guys. But yeah, it's like if I had to make an engine, it'll be of this type of game. And that unknowingly started this whole journey, man. Ah! No secrets? Yeah, secrets! There's always secrets. Anything else I'm missing down here? I don't think I'm missing anything else. I don't think I'm missing anything else. Also, let me angle this up so you're not hearing so much of the click-clacking. Also, I think I have the controller hidden down there. Oh well. Ow! Get out! Alright, I'll take my invincibility. But yeah, I never intended for this game to kind of take a hold as it's been done. But alas, here we are. Probably across the Switch, Steam Deck, and this probably, like, I don't know how many hours I've sunk into this. Huh. No. Oh my goodness. Get through, get through. Okay, no. It's okay. It's okay. There we go. We could fight him, or we could just... No! I'm so stupid. I'm so stupid. I'm so stupid. I don't know how I choked that. I don't know how I choked something so simple. Hello, hello. Oh, what's up, Kieran? Good to see you. Glad to have you here. Hope all is well. Wherever thou art. As you can see, today we're playing a little classic, well, not a classic, but a little favorite of mine that kind of started my Rust journey and started my whole engine making journey. And then maybe we return to Unity. I know, sad, tragic even. Unity. But yeah, this game, oddly enough, has been super influential in terms of all the stuff I'm working right now on. Oh, no! Or at least on the Cozy engine. How are you doing, though? No! 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 I don't like this boss. I don't like this boss. At one point I did. No, I don't think at any point I did. Actually, now that I think about it. I think at one point I understood him. Or I thought I understood him. But I realized I didn't. I really just didn't. Yeah, this, I can't predict it. I can't predict it. Like, there's probably a way to predict it. Like, if I took a picture of it and I did the maths, the graphs, the formulas, did some trigonometry, maybe I could understand it, but it's kind of a roulette wheel. It's kind of just gambling at a certain level. At a certain level, it just feels like gambling. And I win just because I didn't mess up as much in the early sections. Oh. Yep, it's got the screw. Okay, here we go. Back to gambling. Gosh, I love gambling in a skill game. Come on, baby. Wait, can I just do that? Can I just jump over him? Have I been just stupid this entire... Is that an option I've always had, just to jump over the dude? I never thought to do that until now. Oh my goodness, maybe this is just a skill issue. Maybe that's what I'm discovering right now. Anywho. But yeah. Mighty Gunvolt Burst. Oddly very, oddly very impactful. It's like one of those butterfly chaos theory moments where it's like, a butterfly landed on a pole, and then as a result, a guy sat down and grabbed that pole and then got Ligma, and then passed 3 days later. And it turns out his daughter was studying was going to medical school and would have discovered the cure to cancer, but then as a result of his death, she dropped out and never recovered. That's what this game has kind of been to my life. Now that I think about it. If it wasn't for this game, I would have never touched Rust. We never still would have done the engine project. Who knows? Maybe it's not bad. Maybe I'm overreacting. Okay. Either way. Maybe I call it with this playing games and maybe start actually doing something productive. I do enjoy playing it. But I also do enjoy being a little productive. Or at least pretending to be a little productive. Exit. Yes. Yes. Yeah, only 13 hours on the Steam version. I really wish I had my Steam Deck was working. Or my Switch was working. Actually, technically it is working. It's just the Joy-Cons that are broken. But that's a different thing. That's a different thing entirely. That's an entirely different matter. Let me update stuff real quick. Change this to game deving, I guess. Software and game development. Return. I don't know. Either we're going to go back to Unity today, or we do some more stuff. Yeah, I think we're going to be iCode. That's all we're going to say is iCode. That is the only accurate statement I can really say right now. Oh, I can't change the name of the event. I can change the title. iCode. The code. And we go to science and technology to be a little bit more accurate. Okay. I think everything should be hunky-dory there. I finally got Unity working. It turns out the reason it didn't load before was just because I didn't mount my drive. Go figure, right? You go over here. And then we go there. Maybe I'm not going to do any music today. We're just going to keep it low-key. Okay, we're going to keep it a little bit low-key. And we're going to strive to be a little productive. Oh, I just opened up this. Yeah, I'm studying computers. Games in general, also game engines, also maybe R3D later, but the noise seems to get me a bit. Hopefully I don't. Okay. I just literally opened up Discord right now, and I just saw your message right now, Kieran. But I'm not sure if we should if I should address it in chat or just message on Discord. Cause there's thoughts about what that whole thing you're talking about. And I was looking at some different things today too, just kind of put things in perspective. Because I've been out of school for a minute and haven't looked at this stuff in a fat while. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Unity. Unity. Am I right, guys? It's kind of crazy. We're back in Unity. We're back in Messy Mansion and actually going to do some stuff today. I almost want to take some inventory of different things. Maybe do some shader stuff today. That would be fun. Maybe do some... Also, let me check to see my audio, because I know my audio's been weird too. I want to make sure I'm using the right mic. Though I'm pretty sure, yeah, we're using the right mic. Or else it wouldn't have picked up there. Okay. The Game seems to be working fine. And yeah, we're working on volume, fog volumes. So you can see here, like, there's like this is pretty cool actually. Though the aiming is super sensitive for whatever reason. I don't know why that's. Oi. Oi. 1 second. Let me. Windows on Windows docking Windows on Linux is not the best. Oh my goodness, this feels kind of cinematic. And yeah, we're working on the hanging mechanic, like programming this ability to do that. Oh my goodness, this honestly, I kind of miss back. It feels nice to kind of be back here a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. I know I dog on Unity and everything, but hey, what can I say, man? I spent so much time in this. I think I just got burned out, and that's what happened. Okay, let's open up. No, we're not using Vim to modify this. We're gonna use an actual real big boy editor, please. Or I mean, I guess it's fine. To use Vim, I'd have to install the Roslyn LSP to do anything of significance, and I don't want to deal with that. Okay, let's find the actual stuff before we get into anything and just yapping. Let's do a little minor quick configuration, and then we're going to get into actually doing productive stuff today. Okay, external editors. What am I doing? I'm looking for tools. This is project settings. I need to go to preferences. Gosh, I love how jank windows are in on Ubuntu. Okay, external tools, yes, and we're gonna use an actual thing. We're gonna go to home, and then programs, and then we shall use JetBrains Writer in the bin, and we look for this. Yes, yes, indeed. And then we save and regenerate project files. Yes, yes, indeed. Okay, I think we should be good, and I should be able to open my player, and hopefully Writer is just great and doesn't fight. I think I've done everything I need to do to make Writer be a safe and productive space for me. And yeah, my idea of Vim, my themes right here. Not my favorite font, but hey, I can do some work here. I can do some configurations and stuff, and we can start making some plans to clean up code and make things a lot more nicer, and maybe do some large refactors. I don't know. The world is our oyster right now. Where do I want to go to, though? I want to do camera controls. And I remember I had this whole module system here. Maybe one day we can talk about it, or maybe even today I can talk about the architecture behind this this GAM. Behind the player and all this stuff. I hope you're doing good though, Kiran. I look for something. No, don't play. Don't play. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. All right, so I believe let's just get this camera control to be somewhat reasonable, and then I can start taking inventory of where I left this game, what state I left this game in, and start thinking about what big changes we're gonna make. Yep, I was doing this big change here too, different sprite sets. Cole, I was thinking very ambitious, wasn't I? When I was implementing this before taking my break. Yeah, nothing serious. Just might have to have used too much social media on Sunday. It's all good. Just want to check in and make sure you're all good. Yeah, because that's super not, it's not good for the brain. What's that monologue from a Shakespeare play? I forgot what it was. It deludes the brain. Nah, it's not the word. It was a very esoteric word. But yeah. It's, where am I looking? Here we go to the player modules. That's what I was looking for. And then we're looking for player camera controller. Beautiful. Yup, and then we have this. And then do I have a beautiful constant that I can just change? No, because I'm dumb and I don't. No, there should be a constant. Oh, no, I didn't use a constant. What? What am I doing? Okay, range and degrees, camera pivot, player, lock on, camera control. Where do I set the speed for this? Did I hard code? Did I hard code this? What was I smoking? Oh, I was crunching. That's probably why. I was crunching that whole week and I made something not as great as it could be. That's what probably happened. Yeah. Mouse X rotation. Player camera speed. Okay, so first of all, this is stupid. This is stupid. I know this is a property and it's effectively kind of like a constant because I'm setting it. Why though? Like speed at which the camera target is. Yeah, no more. Camera speed, yeah. We're just gonna make this bad boy a constant. We're gonna add a settings page. That's the first thing we're gonna do is make a settings page. Okay, here, yeah. I'm starting to have game plans here. Mogul moves, as they say. Yeah, because the player should not. This should be a component by itself in isolation. It should not have to have a reference to the player for that kind of information. If it has to modify the player in some way, okay, that's fine. Like the camera pivot, that's fine. We can accept that. We can accept that contract, that social contract, that this needs to have access to the player to do that kind of thing. But for this kind of data, no. At some point, I'll probably make like a session thing and then have like the data for. Also, let's fix the camera. What kind of show am I running today? Okay, there's a lot of thoughts I have in my brain. We'll get to this eventually. I just want to have this be a little bit slower so I can actually have a good inventory of the game as it is. Yeah, I know, but games in general, dude. Yeah. It's a sad state of affairs, both from a consumer and a industry perspective. There's a reason I sidestepped the game industry. Okay. That feels more reasonable. Still kind of crackhead though. Still a little bit cracky. But this is more reasonable. And then we have a ledge. I don't think I added a ledge. So last time I touched this, the game initially had a wall jump ability, but that wall jump ability was pretty weird, wonky, and inconsistent, which necessitated kind of revisiting how to go about this. And I think what I ended up going for was having this whole ledge mechanic, because that seems to be what people kind of wanted to do and would help people with like sketchy platforming. Am I full-time indie dev? Nah. Not full-time. I have a day job that I enjoy pretty good, that has taught me quite a lot. And honestly, I'm not sure if I'd ever want to do full-time indie deving. I mean, maybe. Really depends, but I don't know. I like I guess it'll change depending on if I, whenever I settle down, maybe get a wifey, maybe get some kids. Okay, then maybe my free time needs to be allocated towards, being a family man. In that case, maybe I'd rather have my day job being something game oriented. But right now I kind of like having not, because right now I enjoy making games because there's not much stress on it. If it performs good or bad, who cares, right? It's just fun for me. And games are... So here's like a whole thing, right? Ever since the very beginning, I never wanted to work in the game industry or work for like game studios. Because games haven't always been a very personal, kind of fun, something that's fun and a form of self-expression at one level, and then also just a little, it's something that is like my expression of autonomy. So I can do things that are not necessarily the most financially prudent things, but it's what I want to do. Okay, we have to make this even smaller. Jeez Louise. So having it be my full time, my day job, and having it be my bread making means never felt very appealing to me because you're kind of you're slotted into this thing, to this larger entity than you, and that's operating under different motivations. And then on top of that, usually the game industry puts you, and this industry in general, puts you in a specific category and you can't get out of that. You're a programmer and that's all you're going to do. You're an artist. That's what you're going to do. 3D modeler, rigger, whatever, right? Maybe at smaller studios you have more leeway than that. But in general, they kind of seek to put you in a slot. And for someone like me who likes doing a variety of things, I'm not too... and I like working on products as a whole. That's not really my kind of thing. So, yeah, that's kind of how the mentality I've had with it. And then when I went to college, that just kind of reinforced that further. Not because I studied like game dev, I studied IT, but watching people who did do game development kind of put a lot of things into perspective for me. Whoop, 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 whoop. Oh, let's test a dash. I haven't used a dash. Let me put the game into Messy Mansion application. We're going to have to do... You know what? We're going to do... Today's going to be a big refactor day. We're going to just do humongous code rip. We're going to get code and we're going to just rip it out. That's all we're going to be doing today. Yeah, developer mode. Set that bad boy to true, baby! But yeah... So, what was I saying? But at least for me, that's been the case, right? I have other people or know other people who are very different on that matter. And it makes sense because, like, if you want to work on a big production thing, like a AAA quality thing, you're not going to be able to do that independently. That's just not going to be how it is. And likewise for someone who's like, hey, I actually just want to have this hat and just wear it and grow in that, that's like perfectly fine too. So there's things that industry provides creatively that, indie games can't quite offer. But at least for the things I want to do, all that I want to do can exist outside of that, independent of that. Yeah, I got the hacks, baby. Yeah, we need to make some new shaders for everything. Like, I just want to redo a bunch of stuff. Oh yeah, that looks good. We have to animate this too, this hanging off the ledge sprite, but I think I was working on that and I just forgot, or didn't forget. I took my break. Okay, So we have this. Let's go back to the main game. Let's actually go back to World 1, where most of this stuff takes place in. Or level 1, I believe. Level 1 save. Level 1. Broken shaders. One shader stream for the attack. Yeah, I don't think that the attack would take too much time. I don't think it'll take that much time. I think if I do shaders today, it's going to be about this, because this breaks on WebGL for whatever reason. This weird shader on a quad thing just does not like to work. And instead of doing it the way I've been doing it, which is using Unity's UI and like a texture to do this, I think what I'm going to have to do, it's weird, it works fine on Windows, it doesn't work here, so maybe it's like an API difference. So I think the Windows version is using like DirectX, I believe. So maybe it's like something that breaks with WebGL or GL oriented. Yeah, this is WebGL. I don't know. I had a really cool... It sucks because in the game on Newgrounds, it just has like this black flash when you die, but transition animator. Yeah, this bad boy. Tragic. But yeah, on this, there's like this beautiful effect that would animate and happen. That just simply does not happen. And why is the shader broken? Why is the shader broken? Why is there a null reference exception? Why is everything wrong? Yeah, something stupid's going on here. I smell it. Alright, something stupid is going on here for this to be not working as intended. Let's make one little change to the shader and see if there's any compile issues. Yeah, there is a compile issue. Unity C, G, Gen C cannot include... What is that? Okay. Let's see if the effect actually happens now. I mean, it's kind of... That's tragic. Alright, we're just gonna see. We're just gonna see what happens. We're gonna see what happens. Game. Game, don't hurt me. Okay, he doesn't have the broom. That's what I was testing out. Yeah, that's what I was testing out. Oh, there's a bug on this too, because this sprite set doesn't have certain sprites. Yeah, there's a bunch of things I was testing out here. A bunch of different things I was testing out. Let me try to make this a bit bigger so you guys can see a little bit better. A little bit better. I'm also going to make the game have like 19, just normal resolution, not this 4:3 thing that I had. I'm not gonna lie, this kind of looks cool, having the camera be left behind while you do this. Yeah, I have no attack though. That's kind of bad. That's kind of bad. I don't have the sprite. Yeah, a bunch of... Oh man, I forgot how cool this shader stuff worked. And by the way, guys, this does not use Unity's lighting system. This does not use... All the lighting you see here is not Unity. This is all me, baby. Wrote my own lighting pipeline. All this stuff. Pre-computed. All the shadows, using it. We have some cool, funky, wonky behaviors that kind of emulates PS1 type graphics. It's pretty cool. You see some of the shimmering happening. I think I want to play around with more screen space shader stuff, because I think that's the next move. Not only to do the death transitions, which let's see if it plays properly. It's probably gonna not, because it's what. Yeah, you have that crazy flickering. That makes me kind of... I feel very angry right now. I feel very angry right now. But, yeah. It's a whole thing. Okay. Sprite camera utilities. Yeah, I know. Okay, let's fix this on the player. Thank yous. Yeah, there's a lot of weird. There's little artifacts. Like there's shadow acne, which I left in. Here's like, I think we've talked about this too. Like there's this thing that happens when like a lot of games use like either Unreal or Unity, or now starting to be Godot. And because they use them, and they usually use just the default materials that the engine provides, they all have a certain look about them that makes it a bit easier to determine, like, hey, that feels like a Unity game. That feels like a Unreal game, and it creates this kind of meta thing in the back of people's minds. Not necessarily immersion breaking, but it's just something that flavors the experience. But for this, I really like the idea of, hey, let's try to make that immersion of, hey, this is a fictional console that's happening, that you're playing on. So there's like trying to create that same feeling that, hey, you're actually in this fictional console, and this fictional console has its own different limitations that inform how it looks. So there are going to be weird artifacts that are not present on other games because of that. Trying to have that kind of thing happen was very important to me. Part of it was just learning how to do this, because it's just fun to do something cool that you never done before. But that's the second part of it. Like having this little extra effort adds a little sauce that makes it a little bit more distinct from other Unity games. Now, is it a great game? No, it's not. Probably not even a good game. There's a lot of issues we got to fix. But I feel like the little details like this helps take it a long way, or helps it a lot in terms of making it go and chart out its own unique path within the zeitgeist of games. At least in the visual component. There's a bunch of different dimensions to games, from the mechanical to the auditory and all that stuff. Where is the player? Here we go. Current state. Yeah, we're going to use the normal one. Yeah, and I think that should allow us to use a broom, and then everything should just work perfectly. And we should be able to, yep, dash. Let's put on the music too. Oh. Is there no sound? Am I not hearing audio? Because there should be audio. Oi! What's good, Terrell? It's good to see you, man. We're back. We're back in Unity. We're back in the Unitown. The Unitown. But yeah, one thing related to this is adding a screen space CRT shader. I've have other CRT shaders I've used in the past for other types of projects. But if I'm going to do this whole effort of having a screen space shader just to do the depth transition stuff, we may as well also use it for other things. Where's the transition animator? Where's the transition animator? Let me see if I can just get this guy to work. Nope, it's just being stupid. Is there a scaling issue? Is that what's going on here? Wait a second. Okay, epilepsy warning. Epilepsy warning. There's your warning. Is this a scaling thing? Is this what's happening here? What is position? What is this vector position that I'm seeing here? Okay. Either way, that shouldn't impact it. What should impact it if it's a scaling issue is a UV coordinate. We're going to multiply it by, like, I don't know, 0.2f. Okay, nope. 0.1. Nope. Yeah, dust.exe. We've launched dust.exe. We're back in the dust.exe. Okay, let's make it bigger. Maybe that's the issue. Oh. Now we just broke it. Yeah. That's delicious. Yes. Please keep flashing and hurting my eyes. That's exactly what the doctor ordered. Okay. So things are not very great. Okay, maybe there's an issue with the vertex conversion, Unity object clip position, v.vertex, o.uv equals v.uv. That seems good to me. Creepy linguini, yeah, it feels very creepy. Also, I know what I'm about, okay? Don't give me this warning. I know. Do you know who I am? I'm the dude playing the dude disguised as another dude. Okay. We'll just ignore that for right now. Okay, this is also concerning too. The fact that we're not hearing any audio from this application. That is weird. I feel a little concerned about that. Yeah. We have an audio listener, so there should be some audio. Morgan R, work on the game. Yes, we are. I've been dragged back into Unity just out of curiosity. So I'm exploring. We're taking a little safari journey through the current state of the game and just seeing how she works right now. Though I'm a little bit concerned that I'm not hearing no audio. The lack of audio is very concerning. It makes me a little bit scared. I may be doing something wrong. I'm the man that's gonna burn your house down with lemons! I love Cave Johnson. Honestly, I kind of want to institute a Cave Johnson kind of style of business model here at Cozy Cabin Games. Just iterate on ideas, make something genius, and then never release it. And then the walls ooze green curry. Oh wait, they always do that. Yes, they do. Okay, 1 second, guys. Let's just do a little Linux mans real quick. Don't mind me. We're just gonna do a little Linux. Because I don't see the normal. Windows has that little audio manager thing, but we're cool. We're too cool for that. We're too cool for that. So I'm just gonna go into hand programs. Pavu control. That's the command I'm looking for. Pavu control. Here we go. And then now we can look at this stuff and see what is good and what is bad and what I'm failing at. Okay, we have system sounds, yes. Output devices, yes. Oh, these are devices, not applications. That's not very nice. Fmod, EXMAP. Nothing seems muted. I guess Unity's gaslighting me into thinking I'm going deaf. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. We muted some stuff. We muted, I don't know. Uh-oh. Health hazard everywhere. Turns around. Asbestos gives you cancer. Cough, cough. We're going to make, I guess the equivalent of that is me making a game and like, you know how in the start of every game there's like a little splash screen that says, hey, this is the company that, is making this game. We're going to do this thing where we say, hey, we hate people with epilepsy. So we just do this. We just give them a little bit of this before they start the game. And then afterwards and say, congratulations, you're part of the you're part of the winners. Unfortunately for everybody else, there will be a hospital bill waiting for you. An ambulance bill. Just hit them with a little bit of little spicy, little health code violations here and there. Most game studios, when they form, especially independent ones, they go out the route of making a limited liability company because it's just easy to do that. It's easier to do that. But I'm starting to realize that being a limited liability has more purpose in my case, because the games I'm making are full of liabilities, and we may just get sued. That just might be the way that might be what happens. Also, look at this. Look how great Unity is on Linux. Isn't that beautiful? That's splendid, scrumptious. I love that. I love that tearing. Oh yeah. Cause a game. Go to game mechanic that causes second stage Ligma. Have a dialogue pop. What's name? Who are you playing as? What's your character's name? They type in Bob or something, and then the game says, "Huh, that's a funny name. Why do you choose Ligma? Do you want to confirm your name Ligma?" And they go, "No." They try typing in Bob again. It says, "All right, confirming Ligma." It'll be fun if like we have the illusion that you have multiple saves. You just have to name them something different, but the game forces you to use the same name. So you try starting a new save file, but you end up overwriting the original one. That'd be great. There's also this fun idea of like having a game that seems very innocuous, like a puzzle game. Like imagine a game like Tetris, but as you start playing Tetris, it starts becoming a psychological horror game. Or like something like The Witness. Like something that is initially geared towards moms in their 40s, but as they play that game, things start not seeming right. And things start becoming odd and intense and scary. I kind of like that idea. Like there's a guy named Ross's Game Dungeon who covered a game that's kind of like that, called Niet 3. But I think we could take it a step further. I think we can go beyond evil. I feel like you make the next game similar to Stanley Parable. For no particular reason, have an achievement touching a doorknob 1,279 times. Beautiful. Well, I think I remember I talked about this last stream. That game idea of like the Pit. A game idea called the Pit. There's no Notepad equivalent. One second. Oh my goodness. I completely forgot about this. I completely forgot about our masterpieces. How could I have forgotten? Anyway, we're not gonna open that up. That's gonna be a whole detour. But that whole game idea of the pit, where it's just, hey, there's a big pit, and this is an MMO game, and the only controls you have over your character is that they can jump off into the pit and then die. And then their dead bodies actually have physics on them. There's actually collisions on them, colliders. And as everyone in this server starts jumping to their death and accumulating dead bodies, eventually the bodies will pile up until eventually one person can get across to the other side. I kind of like that. I think we can make like a Squid Games type of thing. We might reinvent gambling. Like immediately I was like, all right, what if we attach a cash prize to this? So we suck all the fun out of it. Like now it becomes stressful. Like there's some kid somewhere, I don't know, in Somalia, who for whatever reason has an Android device, which seems plausible. And they're like, hey, whoever gets to the end gets like $125,000. So that kid is just on that phone, grinding like crazy for 8 hours to be the one person who gets across. And yeah, there's only going to be one server. It's going to be like a one-time deal. And he does all that just to lose to some guy in California who was able to make a botnet. But here's the thing, right? We should have a buy-in, like $1 to get in. $1 to get in. Or even be better. There's no way we don't tell them that that's the goal to get across. To see your spin on the execution of the method. Concept's been done. Yeah, I seen there was a concept. There's something like this. There is something called, I forgot what it was, like the Cube, I think. The Cube online game. But no, this is just a starting point. Because right now, like, it doesn't feel nefarious enough. It doesn't feel predatory enough. I think we need to have, there's a level that's missing here. There's a level of malice that is missing from this idea to truly make it great. You know? Because you didn't have the money to give that one port. Yeah. Oh no, we're gonna be smart. We're gonna have in small text. Don't actually have the money. Or we can make our own currency. $150 million in my sequel game. That is a Civ, and it's all in-game currency. So you can buy a bunch of Civ tokens or something. Crypto tokens. What was it? What am I looking for? Where is this massive the Cube online? I think it's this one. Yeah, this one. This is the one I was talking about. Yeah, where everyone can tap that cube and one little pixel gets broken off and it starts revealing shells on it. What is the name of this, though? What is the name of this? A free game called Curiosity. What's inside the cube? Yeah, I remember this, John. Quickest path to a Flappy Bird in infamy. Well, Flappy Bird wasn't warranted. I don't know why all this stuff happened. Like, the Flappy Bird didn't really have malice. I want a game that's insidious. You know? A game that lets the users know, hey, you thought you were safe here, but you're not. Gosh, it's been weird. I haven't been here in such a long time. Okay, so we have to do a lot of refactors. We're going to be changing how things work around here. That little dust counter, we have to change it. We're going to start making this new tooling for doing this, putting these blobs down. Did he just go flying? I also want to make these 3D statues. But we'll deal with that when the time comes. I'm so mad. Why is audio just not happening? Why is the audio not happening? What's going on? Unity? Why do you hate me? Am I missing a settings? I know there's graphics tiers. I didn't know there's audio tiers. GI cache. Maybe I just have to restart the whole thing. Let's just restart. Send it. Goodbye, Unity. Goodbye. Could make it like a MOBA game. Ultimate interface instead of the bars. Like a MOBA game ultimate interface instead of the bars. The bars for the dirt dust meters? Or are we talking about the abilities? The like having cooldowns for the abilities? Okay, we're gonna open up Unity Hub now. The hub. Gotta love the hub. The Unity Hub. Ha ha ha. Todd Howard, you lied. It in fact does not just work. Like Overwatch, yeah, the dust meters, okay. Let's see here. I'm also thinking about this because we're gonna have we're having a philosophical change here. So let's even talk about it out loud because I think talking about it out loud is gonna make life easier for everyone involved. So before, you had the map. And there could be dust anywhere in the map. the map can be arbitrarily dirty. And cleaning stuff didn't necessarily matter. But then I started introducing little zones where the area in there that's dirty mattered. Little dust zones. And something would happen. Either a door would lower or something. So we can have like, can we draw a shape? Yeah, we can draw. So let's say like all this is dirty. So this is kind of dumb, I'm starting to find. Because there's no point to the user cleaning these areas really. And it's very weird to tell the difference between areas of interest versus areas of not interest, right? It kind of disincentivizes people cleaning areas. So now I'm kind of treating these, because these dust zones essentially have a health bar, kind of. It's just they only count how dirty this specific area is. So this one's probably like 80% dirty, and this was like 50% dirty, and this one's like 20% dirty, based off of how much it's overlapping. So I think what I'm going to do instead is have it that there's only dust zones. And dust zones will make themselves dirty. So that way only areas of interest that will do something when you clean it appear dirty and can be cleaned up. So no more blotches around here. So before, the map would be dirty, and then whatever the zone, the dust zone encapsulate would, before the map would inform how much dirt is on the zone, now it's going to be flip-flopped. The zone is going to tell the map how dirty it should be. So we have to flip-flop our little tooling here to make this happen, but I think it's going to be better. I think it's going to be gooder, more delicious, because we have this whole area here that's apparently dirty when you play the game, but then in actuality there's like this spot that needs to be cleaned, and that's it. There's this area here, and all the boxes in red are the areas that need to be cleaned. These are dust zones as described here, so here's a little dust zone. Yeah, and then we can add other stuff to make it more populate. Like it doesn't have to necessarily be lowering a door or getting some dialogue. It can be like, hey, you get some kind of coin. I don't know. I'm thinking about introducing a shop system. I know, crazy, but I think it's worth doing. Nefarious tip: since this game appeals to cleanly folks and likely perfectionists, have a troll spot that can never be cleaned. I should. Well, here's the thing. There's kind of a... Oh my goodness. That's so evil. That's so evil. There's something kind of like that where if we look... Okay, we're gonna... Because there's this whole dynamic dirt system we have going on here. So if you look... let's go to the boss room. In fact, this kind of triggered... or this kind of enforced some progression limitations. But there's some things that just progressively keep getting dirty, and if the player cleaned that wouldn't be fixed. It's kind of cool looking at the pattern. And I know there's like the and it spirals super far out. It goes everywhere. And there's other spots like that too. It might be cool having like something in the beginning of the game that's just continuously dirty like this and will not get cleaned up until you beat the whole game. Because this is just expanding more and more. Like it's just going to keep... You can clean this up, but it's going to keep going. And if you look at the tendrils, it's expanding super far away. It just keeps on going and going and going. It's kind of cool looking at the patterns that are formed here. But yeah, I do like that idea. Though, and going back into this game, and for the sake of adding more to it, I feel kind of compelled to revise our little game loop and add a little bit of economy. Maybe add a little bit of capitalism. Who doesn't love capitalism? The youth love capitalism. The youth absolutely love it. It's great. Why not just add it to the game? But yeah, I don't know. I have to think about this. This is more high level. Today we're focusing on the low level technical things that we know we have to do that it doesn't require that much design thought. In fact, while we take this inventory, this little exploration through the game as it currently is, how about we start making a little list for ourselves? How about we do that? Let's do a little listy poo. Can't go wrong with a little list, right? We're gonna go to. Ooh. I don't have the per game in here. That's interesting. Okay, we're gonna make a new maker mm. To do. .md. And let's just talk about it. So the broad strokes. So dust zones. Or actually, let's have big categories. The big overarching one is a dust mechanic. Have dust zones dirty map instead. Adding an economic mechanic would add replayability to the game for sure. Yeah. So here's this thing, right? Initially, I didn't want to do that because I felt. So I came to this realization that like, economic systems in games kind of arbitrarily increase replayability, right? But doesn't necessarily increase the actual user value from doing so. It felt very Skinner boxy. No, it's not necessarily Skinner boxy, but it felt very manipulative, which is why I instead wanted to be like, hey, no, if the game is going to be about exploration, let's make it be fully focused on that, and that's the only thing that drives incentive. The only reason I'm thinking about adding a shop mechanic was potentially for like narrative reasons, potentially. Which is weird, right? Because it's a mechanical system. You don't typically always add that to do that, but there's one option for a narrative thing that can benefit from that. If we don't, though, we have to find something else to substitute, like adding a lot more stuff you can engage with an environment that have purpose. But the economic system makes it easier because all of a sudden you can add this thing. So like let's look at this from the opposite perspective. If we don't do that, we have to have new specific content for that, right? Which would likely be like dialogue or notes or things that add more to the lore of the game. It could be content like side quests or missions or encounters or battles and stuff like that. And the reward would just be having the game level potentially be cleaner, right? Or maybe have some more information about the world. Which there are certain people who are motivated by that. Sure, that's fine. There's completionist people who will be motivated by that. But yeah, I feel more and more that having an economic system would just make things a bit more robuster. But I don't know. I'm still thinking about it. Because I still want to have a very unique experience, and I don't know. We have to think about it. There's a lot to it. Exactly. It's a common formula for exploratory games rather than economy. Exploration temporary abilities like stronger vacuum speed or boost. Yeah. In fact, that's kind of what started with this whole upgrade system, right? Because initially, when I first, or not first, but one of the first implementations of the game had a shop system where you can like purchase to increase your stats for different things like jumping or slashes or whatever. But if our goal is to encourage exploration, that's what then it's better to have these things be done in world, which is why we ended up having this whole power-ups scattered across the levels. And I think that actually kind of achieves the effect pretty well. The only issue is that there's only so many different power-ups a player can have for this kind of mechanic, right? Or this type of play. Because there's only like what? The broom and that's it, and then your movement maybe, or maybe jump. Like it's not that much, honestly. So it would have to be with increasing rarity or very small increments, which isn't great because then a bunch of reasons. Anyways, but yeah, I mean that's design stuff. That's design that I'm gonna have to think about a little bit more. But who knows? We'll get there at some point. Or at least I'm gonna have to sit down and start thinking about this a bit more. But yeah, because I don't want to have two game systems that are too gamey and kind of like mess up a bit of immersion. But I don't know. Make up for it with lore. Tons of people love. Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah, and I think there's a lot of room for it. I need to make the worlds a bit smaller, though. I don't know. I like the sense of scale, but it seems a bit much for people. Like, if we're going to do this kind of scale, we have to add way more content into this one area. Which is fine. There's games that exist that done that. They just have one large area. Oh, speaking of that, we have to do optimizations, more technical stuff. We have to do some culling. Not just frustrum culling, but something more involved. Because I know there's performance issues that people have, especially over there. Because there's an large-ish open world. So there's a lot of overdraw that happens that makes performance kind of inconsistent. Because you can be looking one way and get a certain amount of FPS, but then you look over here and all of a sudden FPS will drop really large depending on the person's system, especially over there. So we have to start thinking about a culling system. Unity has one, but I want to have something a bit more in depth for non-static stuff. Because I think there's a significant amount of overdraws probably happening from more complex stuff. Would fill the space. And my bad, I'm a creative. Tons of ideas. No, don't worry about it. I love hearing this kind of stuff. And it is honestly like this. I haven't touched this in about a month. Like I haven't looked at this properly in a month. So I'm still kind of refreshing my brain on a lot of this stuff. And the thing is, I don't really, like, I have some plans in mind, but things are very loosey-goosey. Like, they're not concrete yet. I have not solidified what we're going to do. This game is still so malleable, we can go in radically different directions. Like, I can go for, one thing I'm kind of considering is maybe going in a more Shovel Knight-oriented way. Where it's like we're gonna have the context of the game set to you, the mood is gonna be set and kind of spoon-fed to the user, and it's fine. And we're gonna go for more traditional mechanics and systems to frame this gameplay, and we rock with it, and it would be fine, honestly. And it does, and I would like to make a game like that because it's fun having a very narrative-focused thing, or not very narrative-focused, having a thing with a clear, focused narrative and characters and not so esoteric and whatever. And it fills up more of the space. But the other option, the other direction I'm thinking about is just exploring just space in general. Not like intergalactic space, but 3D space. And allowing the game a lot more time to breathe and having like set pieces set up. So something akin to like maybe Half-Life in a certain way. Or it's a bit more linear and there's more set things, and that also does have a narrative, but it's presented very differently. Or what's a better way? Or I guess the more extreme example is Babdi, a game that just kind of throws you into the world, and it's up to you to kind of understand what's kind of going around here. What is this environment in the world I find myself in, and what is going on here? So that kind of thing would I think lend itself way more to exploration and exploration. Like I feel like games like Shovel Knight are more about, I mean they're very different games, but I think a lot of the design focus is kind of being presented a puzzle and then learning how to, like a platforming puzzle, or I guess this also has a platforming puzzle, and learning not only to overcome it but also get much better at it. I don't know. I'm kind of word salading right now. Kind of roguelite. No roguelite. So no roguelike. What would be the way to describe it? I don't know. I haven't formed my thoughts too well on this. If I can, let's put it down on paper or terminal, shall we? Like, or actually, let's. I don't know. There's some focus. Like I said, there's malleability here, right? And I'm still deciding what direction I want to take it, what kind of game I want to make and have enjoy doing. But right now I'm kind of leaning on maybe we can have a best of both worlds, because I haven't seen anything quite like that. Like a presentation kind of like Shovel Knight, but an open expanse like this that encourages like, how did I get up here? Wait, what? There's no wall jump mechanic. I removed that. How did I get up here? Oh, I can just climb to there. Huh. Yeah, maybe this is the place where we go, you know what, we're gonna do something unique and different and do that. In that case, I need to think a little bit more about the economic system. Who knows, maybe even add new mechanics to this game that isn't just cleaning potentially, but like I said, a lot of probability, a lot of potential. Or a lot of possibilities, that's a better way of describing it. But there's some very easy rough patches we can fix that don't require big brain stuff. The thing that irked me was like so many people didn't know that you can just walk and clean up areas, and then you can just dash and clean up areas super quickly like this. So people, I was watching gameplay and people were just walking up and doing this. I mean, it's kind of OP because I have the projectile, but they would go like little by little doing that, and they're like, man, this sucks, it's so tedious. And I'm like, yeah, I didn't teach you that you can just walk and clean up areas like this. So there's definitely going to be a lot more. Well, that's like why I introduced this whole this whole sprite system thing, where we can have the player have no broom, so I can actually have like a corridor set, and it's like, all right, you don't have your broom, you have to cross this path that only has dirt on it, and they go, oh, it didn't kill me. That must mean that I can clean, and now I know that lesson. And then they get equipped the broom. I don't know, there's a lot to explore. I want to prototype more things. Doot. Yeah, so when they're posed with this, they can just beep, beep, beep. I kind of want to juice up the animation a little bit more too. Okay, so let's go back to our little to-do list. So dust zones, map instead. Maybe even add like a little HP bar to the dust areas that indicates how clean it is or whatnot. I don't know. We have to have something that indicates, hey, this is dirty. Or I guess every single dirty spot is going to be, yeah. So maybe it doesn't. We don't even have to do any indicator, because now when you see a dirty spot, you know you're going to get something for cleaning it. So honestly, we could probably remove dust gauge, or at most have a simple indicator that says like dust clean percentage, and then whatever / minimize it, because there's no need for that anymore. Minimize. And then combat, we're going to have to play around with a lot too. Dust zones. Well, I already have a story. So the thing is, if we go to a more guided narrative route, which I think I want to do, I already have a story set up, and I want to do some art to concept out some of the characters. But I think I have a narrative that would be a good frame for everything that's happening. Provide focus on what the player is doing and frame it like a journey, as opposed to just like this aimless thing you're doing, because right now there's no context for what the player is doing. But with this frame, it's like, all right, with this narrative, it opens up a bunch of possibilities for the character and his relationship with the other character that's going to be important for this, and also a relationship with the world and an actual antagonist. So like focus that the game is critically missing, and context that I think people really want, because I think people do like stories and they want to get enveloped into a world. So yeah, we're gonna make something far more focused, or that's what I'm thinking. That's where I'm leaning right now. Some part of the map, radioactive, and need to progress clean up the hazardous waste. Also adds some content to the game for in-game. Oh, that's true. Oh yeah, like different suits. Okay, let's put this down. Mario, I like the cut of your jib. Maybe have different suits for cleaning. With different properties. So you said the radioactive thing for goopy areas. It'd be cool to have things that with different like that change something fundamental about the player. Like heck, there could be like a dive suit. And all of a sudden all these water areas that you just immediately drown in, now you can like step into. Because now you have the dive suit, so you can just put it on, dive into the area, and then now you have this whole level of the map that you can't even that wasn't accessible before, that now you can explore. Dive suit, radioactive goop areas. Yeah, honestly, that's something you've kind of opened my brain right now. I'm not gonna lie, because I never even considered that. Like I was thinking, all right, maybe different types of like implements for cleaning, like instead of broom, maybe vacuum or something. I don't know, but I kind of like the idea of suits, because they communicate the entirety of what they're doing in a very clear way, and they're tied to a specific environment. Yeah, that'd be cool. Or maybe the player, like when they jump into the water, they just sink down, but a dive suit would make you swim or something. Ideas. Combat, dust zones. Yeah, and this dust we can swap that out for anything. Honestly, we can have like different shaders for that kind of stuff, for different visuals. Yeah, I'm thinking. Because I want to remove a lot of limitations for me as a designer as well. Like right now, there's a dumb limitation that I've implemented that like you can't have two dust areas on top of each other. If they're on top of each other, there's weird stuff that's gonna happen. But I think I'm gonna try fixing that. Remove overlap restriction. And Ghost Player goes, ugh, there's so much plastic and trash. Yeah. And there's like framing for this too, like different areas. Okay, you know what? Let's just, we're going to walk with me, right? We're going to go through one possibility of what this game could be. We're slipping into an alternate universe right now of what this game could be. So this can be, this is not committal, all right? If it's a bad idea, okay, it's a bad idea. We move on to the next one. And if it's a good idea, then we just go from there. And it's super half-baked. But I think, I kind of like the idea of, I mean, there's different ways of framing this. And it is not revolutionary at all. But I think just having something basic is better than having something that's ambiguous and people can't figure out what the story is, because people were confused about the story, including me. And sometimes just going with something simple is way more effective. Sure, I can make my Hideo Kojima, art film later on once I learn how to make it. If I can't tell a simple fairy tale story, how can I tell a story that's any more complex than that? Maybe some people have that talent. I don't think I have that talent. At least not yet. But yeah. So I think the general idea is that the initial game takes place over here. Yeah, sometimes games don't necessarily have to be art. They could just be like, I think something I was obsessed with is trying to make art, and I realized, hey, that's cool, and trying to endeavor to make art is a noble thing, but if you can't even just do kitsch art, then, how can you possibly dream of doing something more than that, right? It doesn't hurt to start with the basics. And I think, a simple, Save the Princess story is as basic as it can go, and I think that's the kind of level of basic I need to keep it simple, stupid, right? So yeah, the game starts off of here in this castle. Something goes on here, and the player's launched all the way to the very start. Okay, even then, let's start even more. So there's two characters. There's the main character, right? Mr. Broom Man. Which I haven't even given a name to this guy. We'll have to do that at some point. Or we just call him Broom. Broom. And another character called Lady Hearth. Lady Hearth. So one, focus on the cleanliness of things, and one providing comfort and warmth to things, right? Either way, they live in a castle. Crippling OCD in this world. Probably. Either way, these two people perform an important function in this kingdom, whatever, right? And lo and behold, something happens. Some guy, some entity of chaos and dirtiness poisons the water supply for the kingdom. And corrupts the people, and they go mad. And they seek to overthrow the people in charge. especially Broom, who keeps the kingdom clean, and Hearth, who keeps it nice and warm and cozy, whatever, right? And in the last ditch, to save their only hope, Lady Hearth just explodes the tower with her fire powers and send this guy flying. In fact, I just realized, like, back in the day, they used to have, like, fire, right? They used to use fireplaces to dispose of waste, right? Like, that's a thing that happens. A common thing. That's still a thing that still happens, right? So a hearth, a fireplace, that perfect combo, right? He cleans it up, she disposes of it. Either way, blows him up, so he flies all the way over here into this wilderness. And now it is his job, Mr. Broom, to go through the land, clean up all the areas that have been affected by the polluted runoff water, save Lady Hearth, clean the water supply, and restore order. There we go. Simple. Potentially linear. Or maybe non-linear. Who knows? We can figure this stuff out. But this feels far more focused than anything that was portrayed there. And at the very least has the critical functions that are needed or components that are needed. Simple premise, hook, an overarching goal for the user or for the player, and then elements that all kind of add together. Simple. Broom in Spanish, escoba, balai in German, and Bissen in Dutch, bezim, in Italian, scopa. Interesting. Oh, like names for him. We can escoba. I mean, we can. It's funny because my family's Spanish, right? So to me, I'm like, escoba is just an everyday item, right? But you know, honestly, most people are not going to see like that. Most people are not going to see like that. Also, what's up, book sale? That's not code. I'm sorry, book sale. We're doing a little bit. We're just reassessing things. We're reassessing this game. We're doing a full top-down reimagining of what this game could be. Because we have good elements there, but we just kind of slap things together without much focus. And oh yeah, I was intending to just get in here, roll up the sleeves and start doing some dang programming, start doing some dang vimming, doing some work here, delete everything, undelete everything. But it turns out you want to know what you're making. You want to have a goal set before you start running somewhere. Fire Keyboard, thank you. I appreciate it. There was a lot of if I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not sure if it was like, as far as usage, I've put a lot of miles on this, so eventually it was worth the price point for me. But honestly, man, I kind of wish I got more for this. I had to sink so much onto this, man. I had to sink so much just to get this looking and feeling good. That's a cool pal. Oh, thank you. I mean, it's just what was it? It's something box. If you're interested, it's a very there's a package for it that's pretty popular. Grovebox, I think. Yeah, it's Grovebox. I remember it now. But yeah, any ID should have that. Just search up Grovebox and you can find it. But yeah, like, you know, what's the point of running if you don't know what direction you're running in? So this is the narrative we're going to be going for, I think, for this game. The narrative. Boop. I'm so mad the audio's not working on this, though. Oh well. We'll get there eventually, Tiger. I kind of like that Escoba. I don't know if we could. I wonder if we could break it up into a first and last name. His name's S. Koba. My name's Escobar. I don't know. Part of me wants to keep it kind of like a tongue-in-cheek thing, too. Broom, Escobar. Reminded me of Jet Set Radio. Oh, it does have that vibe. Yeah, Jet Set does have that kind of feel, especially with the orange and greens. No, we're not going to close this tab. Yeah. It just needs a little bit more purple. But no, there's most of the stuff doesn't even have that much purple for the marketing. Or maybe I'm just dumb. No, yeah, like when I think of Jet Set, I think of oopsie. Whoopsie. I think of, let's look at the keyboard, LJ. Yeah, I think of like this image. That's what comes to mind. But yeah. I think we need to concept a little bit of her though. She's very nebulous. She's very nebulous. Honestly, I might just repurpose one of the character portraits or something. But I kind of want to have a design for her that really emphasizes the fire element of her. Maybe have her hair be fire. Kind of looking like Vegeta a little bit. One second. We're going to do art. We're going to do coding at some point. I'm kind of digging this though. It's kind of weird though, having the hair like end in both ways, like down and up. No. We'll play around with this. Like GT or a button to access the map. Yeah, that's the thing. I have to debate how we're gonna go about the map. Cause I think the way I had the map currently, like there's two things that are always at play, which is like size and content. You say like yeah, content per size. So like if the size is 100, but we only have like one content, then it has like a really small content value, right? A ratio or density. And I think right now the map is too big for the content it has. So we either have to shrink this guy down or up the content. I think with this focus though, with the more narrative, because now we have a groundwork to work off, we can start fleshing out a world. I mean, what does this path from wherever this guy lands to look like to this place? You know, are we going to have like farmlands maybe cross through there and then potentially go through underwater or sewage, aqueduct thing? I mean, there's a lot of ideas to play around with how this path for Broomski. Broomski's I don't like that name for him. Her hair is wavy, curly, and it'll be vibrant red. Prince Peach, it'll be elegant. Okay, she's wearing a crown that's amber in color. She's wearing a crown that is amber in color with a lunk of coal instead of a classic gem. Oh, that's kind of cool. Wait. Doot, doot, doot. And then a lump of coal. Morgan, if you keep bringing up these great ideas, I have to put you on payroll at this point. I'm gonna have to put you on payroll, dog. If you keep this up, you're gonna have a job. Maybe you have like side bangs like this, but then still have this going on. Meow, meow, meow. Yeah, honestly, I think I feel so sold on going this direction. If I'm gonna be honest with you, I feel way more sold going in this direction than some kind of explore and discover this world type thing. Like, I think a different game would be fine, but I think with something with such a strong themed mechanic, I think this just works better. Honestly. I think just works better. Nah. It's value. It's value. At the very least, special. At the very least, some credits. Yeah, the thing I need to figure out though is their role. Are they royalty? Maybe that could be it. Honestly, this could be like a Mario type situation, in all honesty, where the lady has the actual status. But the main character is a blue-collar dude that, oh my goodness, this really is kind of Mario. It's Mario if Mario actually had mechanics themed around plumbing. If he had any plumbing mechanics at all. Yeah, because I can't see a crown in this guy. No matter how you do it, I don't see a crown on him. I can't see it. I was initially thinking that they're like court, like servants of a court, and there would be a king above them. But who knows? Who knows? And of course, the other big thing is the antagonist. The antagonist, who I don't know what to do. I don't know what would be a good look for the antagonist. Oh, brother. I like this, though. I like this. I like this way more. I like this. In fact, we're going to put this as MM Concepts. So, whatever. We'll think about this a bit more and the feasibility for some of these ideas. You can do when the player camera does not generate. Wait, what? Dude, to optimize the game, you can do when the player camera that does not generate. Wait, what? I'm not sure if I understand it. It's okay. Player camera up. Okay, 1 second. Let me see what. So the player camera goes up. What doesn't generate? And like that. Because I know we talked about some optimizations for culling. Sir Paul Yushin. Paul Yushin? Paul Yushin. That's beautiful. That's going on there. Not Paul, like, is not a great name by itself, a good villain name, but Yushin. Okay, forward. You might have to help me out a little bit here, right? I'm not sure if I'm following good. Okay, forward. Camera, forward. Do not journey it like that. You might have to treat me like a 5-year-old, man. I'm not sure if I'm picking up what you're putting down. Sorry, generate what the player can see and not generate what the player can't see. Yeah, that's culling. That's the system we have to do. Culling. So there's different types of culling, right? Because we're doing Frustrum culling currently, and in a lot of cases that's fine. But for this kind of case, for a bigger game, that's not fine. because there's a bunch of overdraw that's happening right now. If you look at the stats here, you can see like the number of batches. Like we go from over here where there's like only 100 something batches, and the batches, this is the value I'm talking about, batches. It's like how many things are being drawn, or draw calls are being executed, I think. Like dramatically goes up over here to like 1,200. And for some people, that's like a huge change in FPS and performance. Like for me, my machine, it's fine. It's not that bad, right? But for other people, it can like go from like, oh, we had a nice casual 60 frames per second to 20 frames per second and chugging. And it's very inconsistent. So frustum culling is not enough to solve this problem. So there's a different type of culling. What was the name of it? What is it called? Occlusion culling. Occlusion culling. That is the thing. That is the idea here. Occlusion culling. That will help. That will drastically change that. FOB, you can change FOB, but it's still gonna be the same issue, right? The issue is fundamentally that we can draw here. We have a little whiteboard. Why not just draw here? What am I doing? The fundamental issue is that wherever the player is looking, there's some kind of cone called a frustum that is going out however far away in the world. And no matter if there's a wall right here, all the elements behind said wall are still going to be rendered and drawn, which is extra work for no benefit whatsoever. So you can change the FOV and make it narrower or wider, but it's still going to suffer from the same issue of objects that don't need to be visible being drawn anyways. Now, the thing I'm talking about, occlusion culling, is very different. It doesn't rely on the frustum to determine what to render. Instead, you say, hey, we have this environment and this environment only that you're going to be in. And while the player is in this environment, we're going to draw whatever's in here. And this is in combination with frustum culling. So of course, if the player's looking here, it's going to draw this, and it's not going to draw this other stuff. But with occlusion culling, it's saying only these elements within this area are going to be subject to that. So anything behind here is not going to be opted in for drawing. None of this stuff is going to be opted in for drawing whatsoever, because it's only going based off of what's occluded, right? Or what's the closest most, or whatever is within this category. Now, Unity has its own implementation of occlusion culling, but I think we're going to implement our own for doing this. That should mostly save everything. Now, or generate large saves and keeping the performance very consistent. Now, it does mean that we have to design a level specifically to make it work well for it, but that's fine. That's fine. I think the world already works pretty well for this kind of thing, or we can have other things that are specific for it, but yeah, because usually occlusion culling works best for like areas with tight gaps, but we'll see. I'm going to try out Unity's implementation, and then I might try doing our own, because for fun. Need another type to generate like chunks. Well, we don't need to generate chunks because we're not doing a massive world. Or at the very least, we're not going to have like Zelda where you have a huge, massive overview of the land from some type of high top area. I don't think I intend to do that. I think in general, the levels still are going to be kind of enclosed, or designed to be enclosed in some form or fashion. Like even here, right? The level actually technically is very enclosed. If you look here, none of the walls, there's two massive walls enclosing the area of the player. And then of course we can add additional areas for further restriction. But yeah, there's other ways of doing this too. In fact, I should probably read some papers on other techniques for culling objects for render calls. But I think for the type of performance dips we're having, the significant stuff is coming from like areas that could just be separated away. Because like we have this atmospheric fog, which I don't think I have it turned off right now, actually, because I was doing something before. But let's turn on the fog. Yeah, let's turn it back to like 0.01. So like this fog, you can only see a certain distance away from you. So we can have things like the factory being its own area and separating it there and not having be subject to rendering. Like this opens up way more possibilities for this, for occlusion culling to work pretty effectively. Yeah, no, the game normally has fog, so it's going to mask a lot of the culling we're doing. For that atmospheric feel. And then I think in general we might scale down levels just a little bit. But yeah, I think that might be just enough to lower down these draw batches to a way more reasonable level. And then of course the other optimization is going to be, or not optimization, quote unquote, like literally just optimization, just having some LOD stuff. There isn't many meshes that are very high in poly counts, but it'd be kind of cool to use some old techniques where we just change these 3D meshes of trees to billboards, billboard sprites. If we have something where they're that far away, but I think we're gonna make levels be a bit more tighter for sure. So I don't think I'm not gonna be too worried about that. But we have the performance. We have to do some performance testing, and not just on this machine, because this machine blinds me because it's pretty reasonably strong. I have a really crappy laptop that I'm going to be using for testing this stuff and doing perf on. So that's going to be fun to validate. And that should expose all the areas where it's like, hey, that's rough. So let's actually add that to our list of the to-dos for implementation. Performance fine-tuning. And there's a couple things you need to change here too, beyond that. So what you said, occlusion culling. Other techniques. The other thing is change implementation of dirt map update. I feel there's a way to make this much easier to do. What do you think about speedrunning the game? Oh, I need you to be a little. I need you a little bit more specific with that. Like me speedrunning it, other people speedrunning. I mean, anyone playing my game, I'm happy with. And people speedrunning it would be super cool. Now, if we're talking about designing the game to be speedrun, I'm not opposed necessarily to that. I want the game, like for me, I like playing games where I can just kind of go fast and quick with it, right? So in that essence, yeah, I'd love to have this game be like set up for that, and maybe even add timers to help to make timing yourself easier. That being said, though, am I going to add intentional glitches to the game to facilitate that? Probably not. New music. I have music for the game. It's just that for some reason on Linux the audio isn't working right now, but the game does have audio. I just don't know why it's not working on Linux. I'll never forgive you. What you took away from me. Build settings. Project settings. Yeah, I have a whole audio system built out for this that I also need to fix. That's another thing. Wait, do you use Windows? No, I'm using Linux, brother. I have used Windows before, and I have another machine that uses Windows. that I'm using for testing and validating. I'm using it to test my engine right now, the engine I'm working on. But I also, it's for the purpose of testing this game as well to make sure it works on every platform. Performance tuning, occlusion culling, change implementation of dirt map. Audio. Make audio system good. Or gooder. Because there's a lot of dumb things that bugs with audio that I just need that drive me crazy. The get Adobe Pro. I don't use Adobe. That's the thing. That's the cool feature about Linux. If Linux has this cool feature where Adobe products don't work on it, so you just don't use Adobe products and you use other products. Or some platform I can share this very early concept. Yeah, go for it. We have this Discord, the Cozy Cabin Games Discord. It should be in the description of the video, and if not, you can always just go to cozycabingames.com, and we have all the links right there. Yeah, this game has music. Let's find videos of the. No, I have to actually sign in. I don't want to use social media. I don't want to sign on. I don't want Instagram and Facebook and Meta to know about this device's existence, but they already know it. So I guess I just need to sign in and bite the bullet and say, screw it. One of us. Let me hide my fingers though so you can't see the password I type in. No, I don't want to make an account. I want to sign in. I want to log in. I have an account. I'm a premium. No, I'm not a premium member. 1 second, guys. Hey, someone joined. 1 second. Apparently. What is going on? Why is this not detecting? Okay, we're in. Oh, so I want to see this concept art you have here. I want to redo. Welcome aboard. I will respond to you, Kieran, if you're still in chat. I'll probably respond properly after. Or during the stream, honestly. The thing is, I feel like it's hard for me to offer any encouragement. I think that's the main thing. But at least programs are... Hey! Sick. Oh, you got that Princess Peach kind of... Oh, no. No. Distinct, very distinct. Much more distinct. I like the fire accent you have on the sides here. That was a quick sketch, though. Very nice. Something like eyebrows, right side hair. Yeah. Mr. Broom. Lady Hearth, yep. Yup. I'm digging it. Is this the first official... Is this like technically the first official fan art? Or I guess it's not fan art, it's the concept art. Wait, how does this work? It's like an Ouroboros. Which one came first, chicken or egg? The name of the game so I can make you a logo for it and poster what the game is about. I mean, I don't have the name for it. I think it was Messy Mansion initially, and then I changed for the prototype. I made it Stain World. But with this whole new rework, I have no idea what the name of the game is going to be. That's like up in the air right now. I think once I have the identity... I had my voice cracked a little bit. Once I have the identity of the game further down... Why am I not using Dudesky's Chad thing? Eventually. Okay. Just to prove that there's audio in the game. This boss battle. The audio design was rough back then, though. The sound effects weren't that great. I haven't done this boss battle in a while. What's the game about? Oh, that back then it was very different. It was like you're supposed to find a cleaner who retired from cleaning, and you're learning about his relationship with other people. Now it's this idea that there's this kingdom, and you have Mr. Broom or Broomski or El Escoba, whatever his name is going to be, Broom Guy and Lady Hearth, and they ruled the kingdom, performed some kind of important function, and then one day the kingdom's water supply was poisoned by a guy named Paul Lucian, placeholder name, or maybe permanent name, who knows, who poisoned the water supply of the kingdom and corrupted everyone and caused the overthrow and corruption of all the people there. And in a last-ditch effort, Lady Hearth sent Mr. Broomski out of the castle, sent him flying with her fire powers into the wilderness. Now he has to come back, save his girl, clean the water supply, and restore order to the kingdom. Restore cleanliness to the kingdom. And that's the game. Gosh, man. I am really sold on going that route. Oh, that doesn't have audio? I thought I had audio. Yeah, this is before I got the normal map stuff working. I will say though, any art you guys do or anything, like, do not expect it to go into game. Oh my goodness, how did that happen? Like, I'm all for ideas and everything, but whether things end up in the game is very much subject to me. And it's not even picky, because it could be great quality, but there's something about, I like making every single element of a game. But ideas and stuff like this, or seeing like art just for the fun of it and stuff like that, I absolutely dig it, encourage it, love to see it. I'd probably pin it. In fact, I probably will pin this too. I like this back and forth kind of dialogue we have. But as far as the actual assets that end up in the game, what can I say, man? I'm kind of a control freak. I like eating the whole horse. Graphics, pipeline. Oh yeah, I was looking at this for explaining shaders. Yeah, one day we'll do that. We're gonna do a proper shader day. But creativity sparks creativity. Maybe ideas will kept inspired in others. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I just like putting that out there. I like putting that, making sure expectations are aligned. That's the important part. That's the important part. Okay, so audio system, we have to make it gooder. Combat system, we're gonna revise it, make it better. Dust mechanic, the wire overlap restriction, dust zones, yeah. In fact, that's gonna take some time to think about a little bit. To do it properly, to implement it good, it's gonna take some time. And then the different sprite sets, different player, different sprite sets, which we already have implemented right now. I guess the main thing is just the ledge mechanic now, which I think is largely implemented if I'm not mistaken. Like if I go into my test scene, yay, null references, we're gonna have to fix that. If we go into the test scene that I had at the start of the stream, testing grounds, yeah, we're gonna save our stuff there. I believe, like, as it's implemented, we just need assets. That's all that's needed right now. And I need to play around with the lighting system a bit more too, because it could be a little extreme in certain areas. And I think my math might be a little bit wrong on how we do rendering, or how I do my light system. Doop. Yeah. A purist, nothing wrong with that. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I make games for fun, not for any commercial gain. Like, the way I operate is the most inefficient way possible, but that's because I'm not trying to do things efficiently. Like, if I was trying to do this game studio in a very profit-oriented way and treating the game purely as a product and focusing on it just as a commercial thing, then I would have already done a bunch of contract work with people, or contracted a lot of things out, simplified a lot of things, and just went forward. Or I probably would have approached the publisher, because we had some, I was seriously considering that at one point. But because game deving is something is more of like a hobby, and that may or may not produce games, and I'm more so here for the journey and less so the end goal. That is why we find ourselves in this position of going slower, taking our time, but hey, enjoying every single inch of it, right? I mean, hey, if I wanted to be fully commercial, okay, if we were trying to be super commercial guy, I wouldn't have started the whole game engine now, would I? we wouldn't have made the cozy game engine. One second, let's wait for it to load. Which, by the way, it's working on Windows, thankfully, but now we have to fix other bugs. This game engine would not exist if we were trying to do something commercial. For this type of game, people are like, oh, just use Unity or GameMaker or whatever, right? Why not just use an off-the-shelf tool? But no, we like the thing. We like the whole process, man. So we will, because we like the process, that means we get to make our own tools and engines and all this stuff for the fun and love of it, right? For the fun and the love of the game. Meow. Perfect. Beautiful. Stardew Valley started off as you right now. Yeah, exactly. Heck, that guy, he made his own engine too for that game. Though he used the XNA framework, I think. Add Easter eggs in the game, maybe, probably. But hey, I can't say it out loud. I can't spoil it. It's for the people to discover. Yeah, and there's a bug I need to fix. Well, we'll fix that bug later. I'm gonna put this game engine game thing on the back end for right now, because we should probably finish a game. This is a nice creative outlet to take a break from Messy Mansion, but I'm probably gonna keep working on it off and on, but right now we gotta get some stuff done. So I'm looking at all these programming tasks. I'm thinking about which one is the highest priority. I'm thinking this dust zone thing is the highest priority, in all honesty. These two guys, changing the implementation of the dirt map and this dust zones thing, is going to be the most important aspect of this. Yeah, for sure. There's one man who made Stardew Valley from scratch, and he spent like 6 years making it. He also has no prior coding knowledge. Yeah. I'm working at a movie theater too, like working I forgot, no, oh sure, I don't know. But he was working at a movie theater because he had so much social anxiety he couldn't do code, like job interviews. So that's what I remember, at least, or heard. So Stardew Valley was his creative outlet while working at the theater, and struggle with interviewing. Like a really good trailers, I can say I'll get to that game. Oh yeah, probably. I mean, no, for sure. Oh my goodness, so many game projects. Because like there is yeah, I do want to do a trailer, but that's gonna require I need to compose some music. Oh my goodness. Here's the thing, right? Before this game engine, before Messy Mansion, or whatever this is gonna be called now, there's a game called Crimson Crown. And this game was initially supposed to be a break from Crimson Crown, because Crimson Crown was very complicated, and I didn't know, I wasn't very confident design-wise and what the direction of the game was going to be. But narratively, I knew what the game was going to be, and I ended up making a song for Newgrounds audio deathmatch competition, and I ended up making thumbnails for that, and I was like, oh, this is perfect. We have promotional material for the game. In fact, let's go to Newgrounds real quick. I have promotional material for the game to show off the to show off, like, yeah, this promotional material for the game. Fun to make this. I love doing the art for that. And then we have, I can't see if I can, yeah, you can see some of the art there. We made this song for it that captures the theme of the game and tells the story of it that people seem to really like. Or is it Life Anew? And then I ended up making a short animatic just to showcase some of the beats. And I'm like, okay, this game is the narrative, like all the not game mechanic stuff I'm so down with. And now it's like dessert that I can't eat yet because we have to walk before we run. Where is 1 second. Did I post it somewhere else? It's on Discord. 1 second. Let me just I think I at least sent it as a DM to someone. 1 second. 1 second. Just give me a moment. Give me a moment. Un momento. Por favor. Is this just... Oh, yeah, here we go. Here we go. Alright, I'm just going to expand it. With that, the dust mechanic, which should be priority. Yeah, it's a core mechanic, 100%. I'm not going to play the whole thing. I'm just going to go a bit to like one of the animatics. Gosh, man, I just want to go back to work on this game too. I need to become a better game designer though before I do that. And then you see the gameplay in the background too. If we had proper illustrations and animations, oh my goodness. And I need to swap out the vocals with somebody else who's actually a professional. Oh my goodness, man. It would have been so good, man. It will be so good once I get to it. Because the reason I discarded it is because the game mechanically was more complicated, and I didn't have the focus as a designer to really handle that complex space, right? Which is why I ended up trying to do something a bit more simpler, by the way, quote unquote, but simpler, to just get better at design, because that's kind of my fundamental weakness. Yeah, that's my voice. Yeah, that's for the audio competition. Have you heard of Haunted Chocolatiers early gameplay footage? Let me search that up. Thank you, I appreciate it. We'll see when I come back to it. Chocolatiers, Haunted Chocolatier early gameplay trailer or song number 1. Okay, this is what I'm assuming you're talking about. Yeah, so okay, before we get into it, to further talk to you about box sale, right? There's like this framework for decomposing games into like a few fundamental elements, and it's called MAD. MAD, and it stands for mechanics, aesthetics, and dynamics. Mechanics, as you may know, is just the mechanics of the game, the gameplay loop, what is defined as fun, how we interact with it, right? And then aesthetics is everything that everything else in the game that isn't purely mechanical. So narrative, presentation, the art direction, all that kind of stuff, right? Narrative, everything. That's aesthetics, and then dynamics is the kind of gameplay that emerges from players. You can think about it more like in terms of competitive play, like the meta and whatnot, right? And if we were to look at these different games from these three, remove this, from these two elements, we would see a couple different things. Crimson Crown mechanically is kind of weak. Like, it implemented some stuff and looks fun, but there was no, for the type of mechanic I was doing there, it was very unfocused, very weak, and directionless. And it did not have enough legs to stand on, as it was. And I wasn't really capable of seeing the path to making that better, right? Just because I haven't really designed much games in general. But the aesthetics was really strong. And now we flip it with Messy Mansion. It was the opposite. The mechanics are pretty straightforward and direct, and the aesthetics, which was pretty weak and underbaked as far as like narrative and the context and the vision of it. But I feel like now I have far more clarity on both these things, and I feel like I know what I want to do with this game. There's a clear vision for it. Whereas with Crimson Crown, I was just kind of lost, right? So that is why we left Crimson Crown in the state it is. And I eventually want to come back to it once I have much more clarity on it, and, you know, more robustness on the code side of things, like the toolkit we're making and all that kind of stuff. But that's just an overlook of how I look at this and what motivated these things. Because I could have forced it through, but I don't think I would have been happy with what I ended up with. No, not necessarily. Not necessarily. Because I'm gonna come back to it eventually. And the base of it, but not the experience to give it the core dynamics as well as expertise for aesthetics like art and music. Got it. Yeah. Now, I think Messy Mansion, with this break and coming back into it and what we discussed today, there's a lot more focus on the aesthetics of it. So I feel like there's a stronger vision for what Messy Mansions or Stainworld or whatever I call it is going to be. We're going to see about Crimson Crown. But anyways, going back to this, though, it's crazy because I was going so hard on Crimson Crown. I even have... I made a custom keyboard case with the game's logo on it that I was going to start making and give out to people once the game got done. I got ahead of myself because I was like, this game is super cool. Look at that. Even has the Cozy Cabin Games logo on it. Hand done, handmade. The logo is so freaking cool too, man. The aesthetics of the game just go so hard. The story, the presentation, all that stuff. You just gotta have a good mechanics. You just have to have a good foundation for the game, and we're gonna go so golden, so golden. You don't even know. Once we get there, it's gonna be over, dude. I'm crying now. I'm sorry. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. I'm gonna do those 2 games in Unity, and then I'm gonna finish making my engine. I would buy that immediately. That's insane work. Yeah, honestly, I might make more. I need to figure out what to do though, because this is made specifically for my keyboard. This is handmade specifically for this keyboard, but yeah, I want to make some more merch. I think even for Messy Mansion or this cleaning game, I want to do some stuff like that too and give it out to make like I don't know, like 5 of them and give it out to people. I don't know. I have to figure something out. But yeah, because it's not even that crazy to make. It's like a couple hours to produce that. Oh, yeah, a couple hours aggregate to get the wood, to etch it and carve it out, to etch the design in the at the lab, then to stain it, and then to paint the dark side of it. It's not that crazy though. It's just like it's just his love child. He'll return to it with the structure and expertise deserves. Yeah, exactly. Like, we will come back to it when we're ready. We have to go through a training arc. Messy Mansion is our training arc before we can go to it and do it well. And then I have a friend I'm making that. Like it's a very rare exception. But Crimson Crown is a game I actually started with somebody else, a guy named Greg. But he is going through his own training arc, doing a career shift and all this stuff. So we're both on different lanes right now. But he wants to come back to work in it. And when we talk, we always get hyped up thinking about going back to this game. And I want to get back to it eventually. So 2 different training arcs, eventually going to collide. The greatest game ever, Absolute Cinema. But here's the thing, right? If I can't do a simple Mario-style game, or not Mario, but Mario, like narrative like Mario, right? If I can't execute on that well, how can I expect to do well on a game that's procedurally generated with this dynamic roguelike mechanic, with this dynamic chip building system that's going to be very intense and has this significant implications, and then this meta progression thing? Like, how am I going to do that if I can't execute a simple economic system, a simple game economy, right? Like, how can I expect to succeed? All right, let's actually watch this. My bad. I've been procrastinating on this. Very pretty, though. Digging the audio. In fact, let's... Oh, it's a song. Okay. Oh, I know. Wait. I know this. Stardew Valley. Oh my goodness. Okay, yeah. I was like, wait, why does this feel familiar? Why does that icon look familiar? Oh, yeah. I was playing Stardew Valley the other day. It's crazy. Very nice. Of it. Okay, sweet. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. Digging the vibe on this. One day, guys, we're gonna have a game that I feel super proud about. I feel happy with. It's not about proud. It's a game that I feel happy with, and I can move on to the next thing. I think part of why I felt very, like, I don't know, kind of sad when I dropped the prototype on Newgrounds. Well, just because I know it wasn't as good as it could be. Or actually, it was just very much not representative of what I wanted people to experience. But I think it was very important to go through that and take some time away and to come back at it with focus. And now we have this story. So I think it worked out for the best, in all honesty. Okay, let's look at the dust, because this is whole super complicated. Not like necessarily complicated. It's kind of unnecessarily complicated. This is what did I do here? Of Hearth Lady, if you want it, and hey, maybe if you like my art, it could help or inspire ideas. Yeah, it's still on Newgrounds. The prototype is still on Newgrounds. It's just bad. It's just bad. That's the only way. Like, I feel very bad about it. I think that's a better way of describing it. I feel very, very bad about it. And if I were you, I'd encourage you using a game controller to play this game, because I don't know. Mouse, keyboard, I don't know. People complained about the game controls not feeling good, but they didn't tell me specifically like what platform were they playing on and what were they using for it. So, but we're gonna be doing like play tests too. Actually, the controllers are messed up on. Weirdly enough, they're kind of messed up. Yeah, there's a bunch of things wrong with it because I was crunching for low poly day on Newgrounds, and that just kind of forced me to compromise on quite a lot. But yeah, there's a whole winter levels and way more, but this also looks way more nuanced than what was originally done. We'll see. We'll see, though. We shall see. But yeah, I appreciate the concept here. And yeah, I'm probably gonna iterate on more designs for her. Maybe even revise him too. And iterate on what this iterate on what the villain's gonna look like, and what this town is gonna look like too in general. Yeah, there's winter levels. There's 6 levels, but they were smaller and very focused before. And then I made a huge decision like a week and a half before this to instead make one massive level with a focus on different areas, unlocking different areas, which was kind of cool. But because I didn't communicate a lot of things very clearly to the player, it was confusing for people. But yeah, there's like a level 3 or level 4. There's like a bunch of levels that are very different than what you've seen. They have very different focuses. I'm not sure if they still work because I've done quite a lot of changes. I've done huge changes actually to them, so they may break. Yeah, here we go. So here's one. And then it may just be broken because I did humongous changes to how we do the dirt stuff. Yeah, it's like very broken. Here's a peek of how it used to look. Instagram. Yeah, like there's a bunch of different vibes. So okay, here's the winter. A look at the winter level. It's just a little steady thing. Here's some of the early levels, how they used to look. So we had this level lobby thing where you can purchase and upgrade your abilities. You would have this level. There's the first one that showed you how to do jumping and all this stuff. Much more upbeat, and it was using the old Unity rendering system, or lighting system. And then the dirt was just blocks. They're physical blocks you'd have to hit. It's a little bit loud, sorry. This was like physical blocks you had to hit, which was kind of lame. And then I eventually did a whole refactor. But it was very different. It felt very speedrunny compared to exploration. Or there's this one here. And this music I made, but this is intended for a racing game. But this is initially supposed to be kind of a speedrunning game. And then there's the wall jump, which like... It was a very, very different game, and then stuff started shifting. This is not my music, this is RR Thiel. Super good music, he makes amazing music. Yeah, so I think I might reintroduce these guys, bring them back into the fold with this new dirt mechanic. Have some focus on it. I think that's going to be the move. and make things a bit more like have a critical path, a linear path with some branches. Like instead of having things be very, because we still have essentially a linear path. It's just the space is more open. But I think if we have nice, fast, quick movement. Hotline Miami, which one? The Arthiel one or the racing game one? I'm assuming Arthiel. But yeah, I'm thinking about reviving these levels. Taking the good things we have now with the current stuff I've added. Smaller, more focus, have a path. And yeah, man, I think that's the move. I think that's just the move. We have some really good stuff here. We have some new cool stuff over here. But it's also a little bit scuffed. So now we just gotta clean it off, take the bits we like, remove the things we don't like. Bada bing, bada boom. But Arthiel? Okay, yeah. No, it's... Let me show you. If you're curious about the song, it's a great song. Everything he makes is fantastic. Honestly. There's like a couple of like people who do use Furnace for composing music. And... which is a way of like emulating, using a tracker software to make sounds that emulate the old Sega FM modulation chips and whatnot. Arthiel, and then I think it's called Castle. Yeah, and then like all his songs are bangers, so people end up making a bunch of different remakes of it, and it sounds so freaking good. Levels, clean game. Yup. Less UI people have to worry about, the better. So this is the original, and then he made people did some other versions on it. A clean game, no less. Of course, we have to have a cleaning game. We can't settle for less than a cleaning game. Yeah. So it starts with the dust though, because of course, like I think what we need to fix, and then not fix, I think the focus, a big thing too, is I kind of like how Dustforce does things, and I went away from that. We need to go back to it a little bit. The idea of, I'm sorry we're yapping so much, but we're coming back into this, and I think it's good to start anchoring down these high-level ideas and how we approach designing before we start doing concrete moves. So there's two elements that kind of push and pull, right? And I've went on two different extremes. The first extreme is obstacle-based levels. What do I mean by obstacle-based levels? Well, levels in an obstacle-based games are meant to be perfected, and they're meant to be optimized, and they're meant for you to overcome and conquer them. So think about games like Celeste or Mega Man or I don't know. That's the one, Dustforce, whatever, right? So levels are things you kind of keep playing on continuously, and your reward is getting better at it, right? And I mean, there's other things too that might come from that. Mega Man, if you conquer the level and beat the boss, you get a power up or something. But typically, like what frames enjoyment for people is getting better at the level. But then there's the other extreme of like exploration. And this says, hey, levels are not necessarily meant to be conquered. They're kind of meant to be explored. And I've gone through both extremes. Initially, I made the games to be just obstacle-based. Did I say obstaslide? The C and L. Obstacle-based, right? And then I went to the other extreme of, games should be explored. There shouldn't really be obstacles. I want this to be something you walk in, almost like a walking sim. I think we need to find a healthy compromise right here. Having things at the levels where the player can conquer and overcome, but but also having places of exploration. Also, thanks for hanging out, Block Sale. Or Box Sale, my bad. Have fun studying. Hopefully you get them good grades. Hopefully you pass whatever you need to pass. Hopefully you do all the things you need to do in life, man. And I'll catch you later, man. Hope you have a good one. So, my level design has to be, and the mechanical design that frames it has to be in the middle here. Alright, see ya, Bloxel. You have a good one. Hope to see you around too, man. We have to find the happy medium here. Because the person in me, I like exploration, this obstacle side of things. Treating levels like obstacle course. This whole stream initially was me playing Mighty Gunvolt Burst and just continuously getting better at that, right? But I still want to have a sensation of there's a world that exists and there's some illusion that people do things there. So this is what I'm going to sleep on, is how we're going to balance this. We could always have two different levels of different types. Some that are meant to be obstacle levels and others are meant to be exploration levels. We could have levels that are, hey, maybe the progression is you start here and then you go to level 1 and it's kind of a simple obstacle course. So O. And then between there, you have maybe one that's an exploratory, open, more relaxed level. Maybe have more lore there. And then we go to more obstacle levels, increase intensity a little bit, and then give them a little break with another exploratory level. Add lore. Maybe even add like little quests that requires you to go back to these places to do stuff, right? But either way, this is more of a place for the player to just take in the environment, right? Platforming as well as some degree, which means you'd have to figure out a mechanic to reward platforming. Yeah. I mean, it's either, so that's the thing that I'm struggling, that I would have to sleep on, right? Is how do we do a reward structure for kind of replaying and getting better at it? Or does that even need to be done? I mean, there's like two different ways of going about it. There's Shovel Knight that uses this currency thing where when you play levels, Shovel Knight has like different layers to it, right? In fact, Shovel Knight and Mighty Gunvolt Burst are two really good examples of different approaches to this. There's in fact, we can show it. So Shovel Knight has it kind of like an accumulation based like economy system where replaying levels gives you the benefits of getting more currency, getting more. How do I join the Discord? I can send you a link. There's cozycabingames.com to join the Discord, but I can get you the link. I should probably have it on the description too. Copy link. Can I paste? Why can I not paste? Why is my mouse not clicking? Oh no. Linux. Don't do this to me. You can't do this to me, man. Okay, I think we're good. Come on. Why won't you work? I'm clicking and it's not doing stuff. This is a travesty. I'm getting bamboozled. Okay, can I... Didn't have it, just your indie dev hashtags. My bad. I'll add that in the future. cozycabingames.com. The link should be there. You see, I'm like, click. Oh my goodness. What is happening? Why does this betray me? My keyboard's not cooperating right now. Norma is my mouse. I don't know what's going on. Beautiful. Beautiful. Exactly why we rewrite stuff in Rust. Oh, 1 second. I'll add that in the future. Dude, am I really just blocked right now? The camera's updating here. Okay, here we go. Something changed. Something worked. Okay, it's frozen though. This is weird. My system has me held hostage. This is HAL 5000. I'm sorry. I can't do that for you, Dave. I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that. I'm sorry, Tricks. I'm sorry, Marco. I can't let you left click. Left clicking's against my programming. You cannot copy and paste. Oh my goodness. I don't even know what to do, guys. I don't even know what to do. What is a gamer girl to do? When you're hit... It's weird, my mouse moves. But I cannot click or anything. I cannot click on anything. Everything's like... This is so weird. I don't know what happened. You're witnessing a man be held hostage live. It's very strange. Alright. Maybe we have to do something extreme here. Maybe I need to pour some water. I can't even properly recheck because a window thing popped up. And it's blocking it. I'm literally held hostage right now. What can I do? What do I need to unplug something? Like you said, control something. I'm doing control anything. I'm pressing like the Windows button or the Ubuntu button, I guess, technically. Nothing. This is my Windows button. This is so weird. Do I need to like do a seance or something? Like what is going on? Be gone, computer bugs. Be gone, computer bugs. Oh. Okay, let me dispose of this match real quick. 1 second. This is wild, man. So, how's the weather, guys? How's the weather? How do you do? Okay, we're gonna try one crazy thing. We're gonna do a little. We're back yet. Okay, we're back. We're back. We're back. And my mouse is working now. I will never forgive OBS for what they've done to me. This is a OBS thing. I'm blaming OBS. So it's specifically when I click on the chat box to respond that this happens. Now I'm losing control of this. Yeah, we're back here. We're back, but now I clicked on the dialog box to send a text message because I'm forbidden from typing in chat apparently. Apparently I'm not allowed. You guys are allowed to chat. I'm not allowed to. So I don't even know what to say, man. I don't even know what to say. I am flabbergasted. I am flabbergasted. I'm sorry for this unprofessional conduct. Usually we run a tight ship in this multi-billion-dollar studio with 6 people running everything behind camera. But today, I guess Jeremy the intern dropped the ball, got too busy buying smack behind. Back. So, what did we learn today, guys? We have learned that I am forbidden from sending messages in chat. We've learned that I need to update my description on YouTube from now on in perpetuity to have all the links there. We've learned that OBS is the captain now. Yeah. He really said I'm the captain. That's exactly what OBS did. Block, hopefully you have your link now on Discord. Now that I'm free, the Dobby is free, I can go back to talking about the thing that we were talking about before, which is the different ways of approaching reward structures for different types of level design. We talked about exploration types, we talked about obstacle types, and now we're talking about, what is the Discord link? Did I not send? No, we're not gonna. No! My mouse hovered over there to say, you said what was the link? And I hovered over to scroll up in chat to see it. That was my mistake. I shouldn't have gone there. I should have known the chat box was a trap card waiting for me to hover over it. I can't even open this now. My keyboard is unresponsive. OBS took over control. Okay, now we're back. We're back, I think. No, we're not. This is back though. So okay, we can still navigate Steam. I can navigate this. We can navigate life. Everything's fine. No, I can't. No, I can't. No, I can't. I can't do anything. This is what's happening. Can I at least open Steam? Can I navigate Steam, please? I can't even read chat because it's blocked. Let me read it here. Let me resend the Discord link. There we go. There we go. That what Messy Mansion title in progress has story plot. Yeah, it has story plot. So yeah, the reward structure. So if this could run, if I could. Oh yay! So we're talking about different types of reward structures, right? And we're comparing Shovel Knight versus Mighty Gunvolt Burst. So Shovel Knight does this thing. Have a rest, buddy. I refuse, OBS. I refuse. We're going until I have to go to sleep, which is like probably in a couple minutes because I have work in the morning. But whatever. The work can. There's always work. There's never time. There's always work. There's not always game deving. Anyways, so Shovel Knight approaches it from a. Shovel Knight approaches it through economic kind of structures. So you first have the currency, but then you also have another thing. You have like collectibles. In fact, maybe it's not necessarily the same way to put it, but we're gonna group it like this. You have currency, and you have collectibles and levels. So that can be like music notes that unlock music for the game. Power-ups. And so on and so forth, right? That's the main things though. Currency, collectibles, and power-ups. Don't you dare block sale. Get up, Henry. Done Kingdom Come Deliverance. I sent the link through the chat. Did it not post through? Is it being blocked? Is that what's happening here? Oh my goodness. Why? Why? Unless like I'm being blocked for some reason. Wow. Oh my goodness. Is it some kind of stupid protection thing? Okay. You know what? Block. Just go to cozycabingames.com. Press the dang button there. All right. We tried. YouTube stopped us. You know what? Can I update the description? Can I do that? Can I at least do that? Let me go on YT YouTube. Go to the dang thing. The dang whatever is in progress right now. Oh, it does not show live videos? Leave it to YouTube, man, to create the most unhelpful app ever. Brother, I don't know what to tell you, man. We got boondoggled. I got boondoggled. All right, Shovel Knight, currency, collect power-ups, right? And so you're not necessarily rewarded for like getting super good at beating the level. You're much more rewarded for exploring and completing all of it, which is fine. But Mighty Gunvolt Burst is different. It rewards things very, very differently. So there's a grading system that only increases the better you beat a level, the more proficient you get at it. To send it. Got no chill. Yeah, YouTube doesn't play around. They're on it, all right? The one time they're on it is in the most inconvenient time. It's crazy. Twitch is terrible at it. They let all these bots go in. But the one time I should need to use my personal. I should have used I shouldn't have used my personal. Oh, whatever. Anyways, Mighty Gunvolt Burst uses a grading system, and not only that, sometimes the only way to get to the highest ranking is to make the game intentionally more difficult for yourself. No time. I'll join later. Okay, all good. Block sale. You have a good one, man. Maybe next time I'll fix my problems. I'll get my stuff together. We'll make it work. Oh man, yeah. At some point we'll do that. At some point, in fact, what am I doing? Why don't I just do that right now? I can do this. I can open Firefox. I can just open Firefox. I could have just done this. We could have just done this. We could have avoided this whole snafu if I had just done this. Just gone here. Go to view your channel. Live. I'm live right now. Can I go in here? Mute myself first of all. Also, I could just paste in the browser because, duh, I could have just done that, Boxel. Here we go. There's your link, and life is good again. I don't know why I tried using this stupid OBS thing. I'm just. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Life goes on. Life goes on. Life goes on. Anyways. So Mighty Gunvolt Burst approach is rewarding, getting better at the level different. There is some collectibles in levels too. So you are rewarding for exploring all of it. But there's also a very specific reward structure for doing better. So let me actually show you what I'm talking about. We played a little bit in the top of the stream. I'm going to just show you a little bit of it right now. And it's kind of cool because these games are kind of comparable. They're both replicating kind of an NES style. Mighty Gunvolt Burst kind of less so. They take more liberties compared to Shovel Knight, but it's still kind of similar. And they're both platformers, so there's less differences, and you can see much more of the different design structures at play. Specifically, their EGL. Come on. Game. Steam is not respond. Oh my goodness. What is happening today? What is happening today? What is happening today? What did I do to deserve this? Terrible. No, right after you got it to work. Dang it. That's okay. That's on par. That's on par. That's on par with what we come to expect. It's okay. There'll be another time. But yeah. So let me show you one file here. So, as you see, there's levels you haven't beaten yet, and they have different gradings on them. So this is something that's in common with Shovel Knight. You have this rare items idea where there's things in the level you can go collect, and you can have the most biggest power ups, and you can eventually get that stuff, right? The distinction is the grading system, which sets it apart. Yeah, it really did. OBS really did held me at gunpoint. I could not do anything. Like literally everything was seized. But yeah. So that's the thing about, we have to make a decision. We have to make a design call on how we're gonna approach this. What kind of reward structure you want to use to incentivize getting better at the game, or at least reward people who want to get better at the game. This audio, yeah. I mean, this works fine for like if you don't want to have a contiguous world, and I think it's acceptable. And I think I initially implemented something like this before, where it's just you have all the levels up front and you can choose which ones you want to play. I had a unlocking system where they're locked, some of them, but yeah. The one thing that's very interesting about this game is that unlike other games, like Mega Man, you're just getting more power-ups to become stronger and stronger and stronger. But this one actually rewards you to put handicaps upon yourself to be able to get these S ranks. So let's go back here. So I'm not going to play a whole level. I'm just going to play it a section of it, right? So here you'll see that like this is how a normal new save would look like if you first start playing the game. Like you move, you can shoot while moving, normal jumping, all that kind of stuff. If I get hit, you can see how far the bullets go. If I get hit, I'm in stun, but it's not that long. Like 1 Mississippi, that's about it, right? Now if we get out of here and we go to a previous save I was playing on, you'll see some distinct differences in this one. We're gonna go to that same stage, mostly S rings. Also, y'all like the interface? That's a solid idea. Yep. Also, I apologize, but I didn't hear an answer about sharing refined work with your characters. I don't want to impose. No, like I said, if you want to do art and just share what you have, just for the sake of being creative and, you know, for the sake of sharing, go for it. No restrictions on that whatsoever. Yeah. The thing I guess I was putting out is much more that just clarifying that there's no. Okay, 1 second. That there's no guarantee. Like you can share stuff, but there's the decision to include things into the games is a separate thing. And usually I'm probably gonna reject any kind of request to put stuff in the game just because I like doing it. But as far as sharing or creating stuff, by all means, go for it. So anyways, in this save file, you'll notice that if I start running, holding left, and shooting, the player stops. That's a restriction you can put onto yourself. And likewise, he does half the damage. And if I get hit, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, much longer. So it's very interesting that this game not only incentivizes perfecting each level, but also incentivizes for you to impose your restrictions and overcome them as well. And in some cases even requiring them to a certain degree. Or even picking and choosing your restrictions to be able to get a certain ranking. You can beat the whole game without doing this, but it's just a whole nother level. And it seems like all of the game is designed around you mastering these levels. So a very different design philosophy. Now I'm going to close this game and I'm going to show you Shovel Knight. You've probably seen it before, but can I not escape? Give up? Yes. Let's exit the game. I'm being held hostage by the game now. Please let me exit. Thank you. There's a bit of recoil there. Yep. So it's very cool. There's way more restrictions you can do on yourself. It's you can make it a very masochistic experience for yourself. It's really cool. Which is what's kept me hooked on for such a long time. Oh no. No, no, no. Don't do this to me. You can't do this to me. Do you know what I've sacrificed? Oh my goodness. OBS. OBS. All right. We're gonna do something a little jank. Actually, no. This is why I have my Vim extensions. I don't have to use keyboards. Beautiful. Shovel Knight gameplay. See, this is why I learned how to navigate everything without any mouse at all for just such circumstances.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Shovel Knight, a game that didn't really know.
Okay, we're gonna go back. I'm gonna search up no commentary. DM. So mute. We're gonna skip a little bit so you just see at least the world navigation. Yo, you have seen Shovel, so you know what I'm talking about then. You know what I'm talking about. So you've seen the level navigation. And it has its own structure for incentivizing getting better at the game. But it's with eliminating your checkpoints and playing around with that. So very different. Very different. Anyways, all that to say is that there's different ways of going about it. And I'm actually not sure how we're going to balance it. I might just have to make prototypes and then test it on the Discord and then say, hey guys, here's a version of the game. Try it out and let me know. But yeah, I think I'm going to leave this here though. I think my OBS is being really, really weird right now. So we're just going to end the stream here and hopefully next time I stream, we can start doing more things instead of yapping as much. Maybe probably next year I'm going to do some art. I want to do some art to experiment with, because I'm a very visual guy and I'm very much more aesthetics oriented. So I think I really do want to experiment with what is this world we're building out and then seeing how that trickles out to the mechanics. Is that what you're aspiring for? Also, both art styles are similar. Is that what you're inspiring for? Kind of. I mean, as far as sprites, I mean, I just want to do pixel art at the end of the day. At the end of the day, I just want to do pixel art. Makes keys and offering it to your YouTubers, streamers. Yeah. No, I'm probably going to keep it internal, just with people in the Discord. Just because it's going to be rough prototypes. Like, there's something called paper prototypes. We're not doing that. But something that doesn't look pretty and is rough and around the edges. But to compare between, hey, which structure do you like more? This one or B? A or B? Which one? And having that inform how we go about our design decisions. Because ultimately, if one's funner than the other one, why are we entertaining the other one? We will see, though. We will see. Anyways, I'm going to end stream here. OBS still has me hostage, so I might have to just rip out the plug. I mean, I still have tab control at the very least, but dude, this is so bizarre. I don't know why this happens with the chat thing. So I'm gonna try to close OBS in some form or fashion, and I guess we'll catch you guys later. Yeah, have a good one. Thanks for hanging out, talking, entertaining ideas, and allow me to flesh out ideas too just by yapping. And I will catch you guys later. Yeah. Until then, I'm going to shut off my mic. Alt F4. Alt F4 isn't really an option with this keyboard. Oh, it is. It is. It is. Thank you. We shut down. Are you sure? Yes. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Morgan. The genius. The GOAT. Thank you, Morgan. You have a good one. I can finally exit now. Peace.